Chapter 6208. I can give you anything you want. Morosa once again bewitched Jian Wushuang. Because he has no way to take him, he has used threats and abuse all these years. But Jian Wushuang doesn't eat hard or soft. Morosa, you are also a king in the land of disorder. Don't you think you are naive? In the magic pot. Just as Jian Wushuang drew his sword, Morosa began to beg for mercy. Makes him feel ridiculous. If he begs for mercy, will the other party let him go? If Morosa has the strength to kill now, I am afraid that he will not hesitate to shoot. Jian Wushuang, listen, I'm not deceiving you. There are many secrets in the land of disorder, more than the secrets of your starry sky. Don't you want to know? I know what you want to kill me for. Isn't it just for reincarnation? I can take the initiative to give you a large amount of consciousness and make you the number one in the temple of evil. You can reincarnate at any time, and you will also know the secret of the disordered land. This secret is not known among you starry sky practitioners. More than one pair of hands, plus which great realm king. In order to send away the sword Wushuang, Morosa also made a lot of money. He really does have some secrets of the disorder, the kind that can be told. It's nothing to say to Jian Wushuang, because it has no value. Could it be that Jian Wushuang can still kill the land of disorder? Going to the best, he can slap Death Sword Wushuang with a slap on his body. Interesting. Jian Wushuang heard the words and held the sword of 10,000 tribulations, raised his head and said proudly, "Tell me, I also think it's boring to be beheading you back and forth all these years." "Huh, that's right," Morosa said excitedly. "Staying in the world of consciousness will not do you any good. You will not regret working with me. Stop talking nonsense and explain quickly." Jian Wushuang shouted angrily, not wanting to talk nonsense with the other party. "Don't worry, you won't make any promises. How can I cooperate with you?" Morosa is not a fool. He is also afraid of the other party's empty-gloved white wolf. What if you regret it then? What kind of guarantee do you want? At least make a poison oath. Jian Wushuang immediately stretched out his hand and swore an oath to the rules of the world of consciousness. Several of them were added by Morosa. The kind that is as poisonous as it is poisonous. There was no negotiation of that at all. Even after the violation, these oaths would not really fall on Jian Wushuang. But the oath in it is extremely vicious, and just thinking about it will make people's mood change. Still bound? This time, enough is enough. Jian Wushuang's face was cold, pretending to be unhappy. In fact, everything is faked by deceiving the other party. When Morosa heard the words, he let out a smile and said indifferently, "Of course you can now. You have to listen carefully. Maybe after you hear the secrets of the disordered land, you will join in." "Oh, you say that? I really can't wait." He was really intrigued by the other party. The secrets of the discord. He has heard a lot. From the king of the realm, the king of the great realm to the present Morosa. All the mysteries seem to be in the land of disorder. The whole world is wrapped. The outside world is disordered. The starry sky has changed from disorder to orderly space. The supreme rule was born. The whole process is the biggest secret. Jian Wushuang most wanted to know this, to see if the other party could say these useful things. When Morosa saw this, the atmosphere had reached its peak. Began to speak. "Let's start with everything in chaos. A land of disorder." Haha. Morosa sneered at first, as if he was disdainful of his origin, but also proud. Jian Wushuang was fascinated. He originally thought it was the other party who slapped him. After hearing the logic behind it, it is similar to what the king said. It's just that there are some things that the realm king didn't tell him. Maybe the realm king himself didn't know it. The origin of the disordered land is actually a world with supreme rules. That world is now the place of disorder. It has borders and a thriving civilization. It is extremely huge, and you can see it by looking at the current disorder. An incomparably prosperous civilization will also have a day when it will be broken. The orderly world began to crumble for some unknown reason, until complete failure. When the orderly world is destroyed, life will also be destroyed. However, from Morosa's words, Jian Wushuang learned that there was no life in the original world. It is a world in which consciousness coexists. There is no concept of life. The stronger the consciousness, the stronger the strength. Just like the current realm of the gods. When Jian Wushuang heard the secret, his eyes narrowed. Although there was no evidence that the other party was telling the truth, he believed it. Because he also had the same guess. Otherwise, where did the world come from? There will always be a source. Or the endpoint. Morosa said this, and his tone began to become low. Speaking of which, I am also the consciousness in the land of origin. Since the destruction of the world of origin, it has become a place of disorder, and my consciousness has also transformed into this image, floating all day long, and there is no way to go, has become the walking dead. Time is blurry, no one can feel time, because everything is disordered, until a powerful consciousness was born, and he created the starry sky. The creator of the starry sky? Jian Wushuang's eyes flashed. That's what he cares most about. The destruction of the origin world, although it sounds shocking, is far less important than the opening of the starry sky. This can be the same as his future path. The two sides have a link, and it depends on how the founder of the starry sky creates the starry sky, which step they can take in the future. Morosa looked at him and nodded, and said with emotion, I used to follow the founder of your starry sky back then. Back then everyone regarded him as and regarded him as the savior of the world. After speaking several times, Morosa's eyes turned blood red. But he lied to us. The words were almost roared out. And pros. It's not enough for them to die 10,000 times. Jian Wushuang, do you think the beasts are evil? Morosa suddenly looked at Jian Wushuang and began to ask, don't you think we all deserve to die, not deserve to live, and should not attack the starry sky? Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded without any hesitation. Ha ha. Morosa laughed wildly. I knew you would say that, I knew it. It's a pity that those old brothers believed in the founder of the starry sky and said they would bring us a new home, but they used their consciousness as the fuel to create the starry sky. Countless old brothers who wandered from the origin world were all killed by the founder of the starry sky. They used their consciousness to open up the starry sky, forged the highest reincarnation, and gave you your current consciousness, as well as the damned flesh and blood. This book he promised us. Chapter 6209. How could he forget the promise he made to us? As Morosa spoke, tears already appeared in his eyes. Although I don't know if it's true or not. But the creator of the starry sky in this story, really it. Fool people go to work for themselves, and finally kill the donkey. But these have nothing to do with Jian Wushuang. What you said has nothing to do with me, and I don't want to know. He said indifferently. You can sympathize, but your position is different, and there is no need to say more words of comfort. Either you are dead or I am dead. You can't go against the stars with Morosa. Without the founder of the starry sky, there would be no practitioners like them. He can't make himself defect because of the other party's bitterness. White-eyed wolf. We just want a home of our own, what's wrong with us? You're not wrong, what's wrong with us? Jian Wushuang said angrily, you seek revenge for the founder of the starry sky. I won't stop you, and I don't have the strength to stop you, but if you take action against the cultivator, this will not work. I said too much. Morosa also felt that he had said too much. He quickly waved his hand and said, stop talking about this, let's talk about those imitators. The imitators? Jian Wushuang heard the words and said in surprise, is it possible that there are other stars in the disordered land? Morosa sneered, how easy is it to open up the starry sky? The world they opened up is not stable at all, and since the founder of the starry sky appeared, we have spontaneously resisted. Because the land of disorder is so big, it appears having a starry sky has already given us the pressure to survive. If there is a second one, there will be a third one and a fourth one. At that time, I am afraid that we will really be monsters, which will affect the development of life and will be eliminated if we conform to nature. This guy is right. There is no right or wrong between disorder and order. Only stand in the opponent's position, doing the right thing. Jian Wushuang also nodded slightly. Some substituted into the other side's position. Because all this is too far away from him. to open up a second starry sky. He has that ambition, but to achieve it, he has a long way to go. They were all destroyed by you? Jian Wushuang revealed a surprised expression. Morosa was very proud. Yes, they were all eaten by us. Those old guys who want to follow suit should be damned. The land of disorder, after all, belongs to the consciousness of our origin world. Where we live, no one can drive us away. Jian Wushuang also thought of the former goddess, and the copying of the starry sky failed. Or it was disturbed by Weiss and failed, and finally fell. Since it is a disorderly place to fight, why didn't you help the goddess in the first place? It is for this reason that he hides the origin of his starry sky and has always been careful. But now that there is the threat of discord, he feels that some explanations don't make sense. Morosa, is there a limit to the land of disorder? I have no idea. Jian Wushuang raised his brows and sneered, aren't you willing to talk about this question? Hee, you underestimate me too much. I can actually say everything in the land of disorder, and tell it to you, you are useless. A place of disorder, how can there be a margin? Even if you find the margin and pierce the space, you can still reach another place of disorder. Morosa smiled proudly. The power of the disordered land is far from the starry sky. Jian Wushuang heard the words, but a terrifying thought appeared in his heart. I see. He nodded. The bottom of my heart was extremely shocked. The founder of the starry sky is probably the same as these world beasts. The Great Realm King realm can be expanded with the consciousness of the Great Realm King. Then the starry sky can also be expanded according to the starry sky creator. Back then, so many world beast consciousnesses were annihilated, creating a real world. I am afraid it is to open up a space that is the same as the origin world. The consciousness of the world beast that died out at the beginning turned into particles, and finally mastered life. This is probably one of the secrets in the starry sky. Far from being as cold-blooded as Morosa said, those dead world beast consciousnesses may still be thanking the founder of the starry sky. Everything the other party does is truly beneficial to the world. At this time, Jian Wushuang's heart is firm. The breath on his body burst out suddenly. With one hand, a cyclone gathers directly. Morosa, I have decided, you must get out of the realm king. Immediately after that he started. Morosa was furious, but there was nothing he could do. Life. You damned beings, you all deserve to die. Unbelievable. Morosa took the initiative to burn out his own consciousness and did not give Jian Wushuang a chance to shoot. Humph. Jian Wushuang sneered from the bottom of his heart. It was quite fast to escape. It happened that I knew a lot this time. Go back and have a further in-depth exchange with the Realm King. Maybe the Realm King will know some of these things. Back in the city, first saw the battle of life and death. It's easy to win. For him, 10-game winning streak is a matter of time. When he found the king, he told the story of Morosa. The Realm King was also startled when he heard it. Not the secrets Morosa said. It is what Jian Wushuang will do next. You want to completely destroy Morosa's consciousness? Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded firmly. Wait a minute, you let me slow down for a while. How strong is Morosa's specific strength to destroy Morosa's consciousness? Do you know? The Realm King paused for a while before asking. Jian Wushuang frowned and said, I don't know, but as long as I have enough time, I can do it. His recovery speed is not slow, but it can be eradicated. But can your consciousness bear it? This is what the real king is worried about. Morosa will not let Jian Wushuang sit here. Practitioners in the starry sky are much more precious than world beasts. You're optimistic. Jian Wushuang held it with one hand, and the divine power transformed by consciousness suddenly soared. It's just that he has reached the level of the 9-star universe in an instant, and there is even room for improvement. It is close to the of time and space. I have that strength, and I can absorb Morosa's consciousness. Not only will I not be injured, but I can also become stronger. Even though my consciousness is only stronger, it can also help me expand the source starry sky, but I can't fill the power. This is the world of consciousness. I don't have the power of the starry sky for me to absorb. Speaking of this, Jian Wushuang couldn't help but sighed. The Realm King's eyes widened. First he was surprised that Jian Wushuang's consciousness was so powerful, then his eyes moved, and he said in amazement, "The realm beasts in the land of disorder are precisely transformed by consciousness. You have not heard of it yourself. Well, since their consciousness can have divine power, why can't you?" Jian Wushuang pointed at himself, and then his heart shook. Yup. He just reacted. Chapter 62:10. Consciousness is strong enough. In his own source starry sky, he has everything he wants. Of course he's not that strong yet, but it is still possible to draw strength out of disorder. In this way, his consciousness and source power can be enhanced. Lord Realm King, you are really my lucky star. After speaking, he couldn't help but try it in the source starry sky. Sure enough, some power can be extracted. This power is the power of disorder. Unordered transformation. All-inclusive. Any power is available, as long as there is enough disorderly power. He really has this, and after absorbing Morosa, he will not go straight to the sky. Lord Realm King, help me ask the Realm King if there is a bigger magic pot. Now this is not enough for me. Jian Wushuang felt the rise of power. He has been unable to suppress the belief in ascension. At this moment, he once again returned to the way he used to be brave. You look down on me too much. This is the first generation of the great Realm King. When I opened up the Realm King continent, I can see the existence of the Realm King God realm wherever I want. Oh, wait for me to finish. Just do your best, leave the rest to me. Jian Wushuang's figure had risen to midair, and he gestured towards the king of the realm, and then burst out of the air. The king of the northern realm who remained rubbed his hands together, feeling a little helpless. Hey, Lord Prophet, I've been miserable, this guy is crazy, I can't control it. Forget it, let's go and meet the seniors of the great Realm King. The Realm King also left the residence and went to the center of the city. Jian Wushuang returned to the borderland again. This time he went deeper, just to fill the magic pot quickly. This will be more efficient. At this time, his credit is still far from the first. Set a small goal first, and if it's less than 100 million credit points, it won't stop. Jian Wushuang sat cross-legged in the illusory space of the borderland, with the magic pot beside him absorbing Morosa's consciousness. He is refining the power of disorder in the source starry sky. In the end, it all transformed into the power of the starry sky. The source and the divine body have been increased. And again he was all-inclusive. At the same time began to study the beast magic. And the ultimate eternity. The ultimate eternity has yet to be improved. Even he has already gone to the level above the ultimate ancient change. Time passed by Morosa's curses again and again. Jian Wushuang went back several times in the middle. Haven't seen the Realm King. After seeing the battle of life and death, they rushed back. Over the years, the universe gods in the city have been talking about him. A life and death battle swept everything. While rushing points in Jinxie Hall. Thousands of years have passed. Now Jian Wushuang is ranked 76th in Jinxie Hall. I don't know if the Realm King got me a more powerful magic pot. He was still thinking about a more powerful magic pot. Once a month, it was reduced to once every 10 days, but he was still not satisfied. The current position is already on Morosa's face. Going forward, he was afraid that he would fall into a disorderly place. At that time, Morosa quickly took hold of him. In recent years, his origin has improved rapidly. The basic divine power is average, although the divine body can withstand it, but he does not despise the added divine power. It is better to improve the ultimate ancient transformation, as long as it is increased by 10%, it is hundreds of millions of divine power. If those cosmic gods knew that not only could he cultivate in the realm of the Realm King, but he was still not satisfied, they would probably jump and curse. When will the first perfect river of time and space truly condense and succeed? Jian Wushuang, with his hands behind his back, inspected his source starry sky. At this time, his source starry sky, because of the strong consciousness, expanded a circle. The quartet also had their own buys. In the darkness, A long river is gradually being perfected. The whole starry sky is full of stars. The scope is vast, beyond imagination. Now his starry sky, if compared with the outside world, already has the size of the original northern time and space. And the origin of his starry sky also lit up to the size of the ancient moon spacetime. Although compared with the northern time and space, it is a long river of time and space connected by the universe. But the power contained in it is unimaginable. After all, the ancient moon spacetime carried an unknown amount of life. That requires a greater consciousness. Of course, this is what the Realm King bears. Without the universe god, the Realm King can endure it. If he couldn't bear it, he arranged for someone to enter the Realm King continent. The reasoning is similar to that of the realm of the King of Gods. But it is one space level away. The path that Jian Wushuang is taking now is inspired by the secret Morosa said. Create a world that can retain consciousness first. To create life. Because life has no consciousness, it is a fool. That's why he wasn't in a hurry to create life. As for the cat that Weiss got, it must be Weiss' hands and feet. Otherwise, the cat would not be so smart. Just from the eyes can see, is a great wisdom. Time and space are still not enough, like a temporary house, not stable enough, and there is no realm of time and space. He patrolled around, and now it is not only the power of the source that is lacking. There is also a lack of boundary compensation. After all, he is still a master of the universe. The vision is high enough, and the pattern is okay. But this is all empty, and the real time and space must be created. This is not as simple as creating the origin of time and space. As soon as the source is condensed, it can be used. The long river of time and space that carries consciousness requires step-by-step exploration. You can't go wrong at every step. Time flies. Jian Wushuang used the magic pot to absorb Morosa's consciousness, and then beheaded, waiting for the time to refine the absorbed consciousness, expand the source, and increase the divine power. In the blink of an eye, his 8th battle has arrived. After 7 consecutive victories, he has been waiting in line for thousands of years. He also rushed to the 2nd place on the evil suppressing list. 900,000 credits. It is still far from his 100 million. Almost 100 more epics are needed. On the day of the life and death battle, Jian Wushuang hurried back to the city. At this time, the arena was already full of people. Are waiting for this battle. Originally, Jian Wushuang was going to challenge the 7-star universe god, but because of his renewed fighting spirit, he focused on cultivation and did not choose 7-star universe as his opponent. It can be said that he did not take the battle of life and death in his heart. But this time, after seeing the opponent and the opponent's information, he made a change. Concubine Wu. From the starry sky, he is a disciple of a Protoss messenger under Weiss, and he was once instructed by Weiss. The 6-star cosmic of divine power and the 7-star cosmic of combat power. He is the strongest one he has ever encountered in the battle of life and death. Even stronger than those 8-game winning streaks, there is every chance of reaching 10-game winning streaks. The key is because of the identity of the other party, who is Weiss. Although Weiss is a Protoss, he seems to be very free and easy. In fact, there are still some forces under his command. Speaking of which, he is also from the faction of Weiss. It's better to have water. See you later. Jian Wushuang, I know it's not your opponent, but I recognize it. Chapter 62:11. Concubine Wu was wearing a fiery red leather skirt and moved with the aura. Her fall is also very embarrassing. She wandered in the starry sky and encountered a terrifying poisonous insect. After being poisoned, she did not choose to go back, but continued to explore, hoping to obtain more treasures. It turned out that the poisonous insects came from the void, and the poison erupted. She died in an instant without giving her time to call for help. Fortunately, she also came from the Divine Academy and was a disciple of the Celestial Messenger, so she would naturally be arranged in the realm of the King of Gods, with the hope of reincarnation. In the end, she was still so strong. I don't want to spend my consciousness to accumulate luck, I just want to try the arena. The first 7 battles went well. Unfortunately, I met Jian Wushuang. Don't be in a hurry to admit defeat, Who said my opponent is you? Jian Wushuang smiled indifferently, and he gestured, I decided to change my opponent. When this sentence came out, the audience was shocked. What? Changing opponents at this time is against the rules. He must be crazy. Wouldn't it be that he fell in love with the universe of the gods? There is such a possibility, the 6-star Valkyrie, but very few. I am afraid that such an appearance is also famous in the gods, but unfortunately she has fallen. In the realm of the king of the gods, especially in the arena, no one will know Lin Xiangxiu, except now. The sword is unparalleled. Many people stared at Jian Wushuang in surprise, wondering what he was going to do. At this time, a skinny old man in the seat spoke up. Don't forget, there is another rule in the arena. When you change your opponent, you not only need to challenge the 7-star cosmic god, but also challenge the cosmic god who has won more consecutive victories than you. Everyone turned to look. The old man wore a black robe with a calm face. It is a 9-star cosmic god, and it is also a very ancient 9-star cosmic god. He has also seen the battle of life and death, and has won 6 times. Waiting for the opponent for hundreds of millions of years, I have not waited for the 7th battle. Obstinate old man, it's rare for you to come to watch the life and death battle of the younger generation. TK, this may be the last time I watch the battle of life and death. The bitter old man smiled wryly and shook his head. He couldn't wait any longer, and he would lose consciousness any longer. Prepare for immediate reincarnation. Waiting for hundreds of millions of years, it is possible to opt out. After quitting, the winning streak will be converted into credit points, which can be reincarnated. Hearing this sentence, everyone was also surprised by the old man's decision. But soon everyone's attention shifted to the center of the arena again. The python-robed girl appeared. Jian Wushuang, you can think about it. Next, you will randomly select a 7-star universe with 8 consecutive victories. Think about it, let's start. Jian Wushuang nodded indifferently. Concubine Wu stared at Jian Wushuang in astonishment. Why are you avoiding the war? She was extremely puzzled in her heart, and the bright side could easily win her. And among the 6-star universe gods, there are 9-game winning streaks. The fastest 10-game winning streak. At this point, he chose to switch opponents. Jian Wushuang heard the words and said easily, I will get the Tomahawk medal for 10 consecutive victories today, and it has nothing to do with you. Tomahawk medal? When did you say 10 consecutive victories? Concubine Wu couldn't believe her ears. Just today. Jian Wushuang's confident answer shocked the audience. I want 10 consecutive victories a day. Totally impossible. After winning the 7th game, Jian Wushuang wanted the fastest life and death battle, so he needed to choose the 7-star universe with 9 consecutive victories. After the 8-game winning streak, you need to choose the 8-star universe god. The last battle is the 9 stars universe god. This is not a win either. It's all random. If it is said that Jian Wushuang challenges the 7-star god of the universe, regardless of the victory, they still believe that Jian Wushuang has that strength. But the 8-star cosmic god, even if there is no victory, there is no hope. Not to mention the 8-star cosmic god, even the 7-star cosmic who is now challenging for 8 consecutive victories has no hope of winning. The python-robed girl slid through the space, and a row of names appeared. Immediately it started beating. In the end, it settled on an alien. It turned out to be me. It looks like I missed it this time. A terrifying giant with a crocodile head jumped down from the audience. He slammed heavily on the flat bottom of the arena, and slowly raised his head to look at Jian Wushuang. Human, your luck is very bad. When you met me, I heard that you are still ranked 2nd in Jinxia Temple, and you are about to surpass the 1st. I really don't want you to meet me, and I want to see you surpass the 1st. This sentence caused everyone in the audience to scold. Get cheap and sell well. It was him. Jian Wushuang didn't care at all. He slowly stretched out his hand and said indifferently, you really can't see it, it's a pity. Universal Divine Sword Warriors, the 7th battle, start now. Concubine Wu next to her was immediately teleported to the viewing platform. And Jian Wushuang and the alien powerhouse in front of him also began to fight. Dead space. The alien powerhouse with the crocodile head shouted angrily. The surrounding space transforms. The meaning of death permeated the entire arena. Jian Wushuang was unmoved, and when the space completely descended, he suddenly drew his sword. Clang. Blue cold light emerges. A sharp light and shadow illuminated the whole world, and immediately began to erupt. Sword light fills the world of death. Numerous tiny cracks appeared. The space was instantly occupied by Jian Wushuang. I know death better than you. Jian Wushuang only took out a sword, then retracted the sword into the sheath. Click. Dead space shattered. Dead space against the sword of death. This is the result. The true meaning of his death, which was absorbed from the extinction of life, is far from being comparable to any alien powerhouse. You actually broke my dead space. The alien powerhouse was a little unbelievable. His dead space can trap most of the seven-star universe gods, and it can even achieve the effect of shock killing. The six-star cosmic cannot survive at all. Not to mention broken. Don't be complacent, this is not my real strength. Pull out your sword and come with me again. The word of war has not yet been exported. The consciousness of the alien powerhouse began to collapse. Just like dead space. It finally collapsed. The dead can't die anymore. This is the power of the source. And he just used the death sword in the source of the starry sky. Now his source strength has reached an unfathomable level. It is not comparable to ordinary universe gods at all. The seven-star cosmic god, who had won 8 consecutive victories with one sword, was shocked. No one spoke, no sound. Is this a library? It's so quiet. The king of the northern realm walked into the arena scoldingly and saw Jian Wushuang standing in the center of the arena, no surprise at all. This is normal. Although I haven't watched Jian Wushuang's previous battles, I've heard a lot. All instant kills. The same goes for a 7-game winning streak. It's only a 7-game winning streak, there's no need to be so shocked. Chapter 62:12. King of the Northern Realm, you can clearly see Jian Wushuang's opponent, that is the 7-star cosmic god with 8 consecutive victories. What? The Realm King jumped up in fright. How is it possible that his opponent is not Concubine Wu? How can it be a 7-star universe god? Immediately, there was a thunderous cry in the arena. And lively discussions. Only then did the king of the Northern Realm learn that Jian Wushuang had changed his opponent halfway through. The original opponent, Concubine Wu, was standing on the spectator stage, her face shocked beyond recognition. I want to take the 8th battle. Jian Wushuang shouted loudly. At this time, only one person in the audience was pale. It is the existence of the 9-game winning streak among the 7-star universe gods. He stared at Jian Wushuang with a dark face. In this battle, he could not escape. After waiting for a long time, I want to wait for a 7-star universe with 9 consecutive victories. In the end, there was a monster. A monster that can slash the 7-star universe with a sword. He's conceited though, because he has 9 straight wins. But he wasn't so conceited that he could kill the 7-star universe god who had won 8 consecutive victories in one blow. What? Don't fight. Where to go back? He had nowhere to escape. No contest required. It was directly sent to the arena by the girl in the python robe. Do not. Am not reconciled, 9 consecutive victories for billions of years. Why is this the result? He did not blame Jian Wushuang. And stared at the girl in the python robe. It's not fair. I choose not to fight. Even if I die, I have to defend my rights. But as soon as he finished speaking, his consciousness completely collapsed. Jian Wushuang wins the 8th victory. This scene once again shocked the audience. This guy really would rather die. You don't know, conceited people will not be willing to lose to an opponent who is weaker than themselves, and do not want to be this stepping stone. By the way, I heard that when he first entered the arena, it was because his consciousness was depressed. Later, he suddenly wanted to be reincarnated because of what happened, and he went to the end after one battle. I didn't expect this result. This ending drew many sighs. It's a pity that a genius is about to be reincarnated. But now they are more concerned about Jian Wushuang's next plan. Are you really going to take on the 9th battle? That is the 8-star cosmic god. And still immediately. In case those 8-star universe gods with high winning streaks arrive immediately, it may be over. Jian Wushuang, don't be impulsive. The Realm King began to persuade. There are also several 6-star cosmic gods who have won the 9-game winning streak. If you don't want to wait too long, you can stop now, and in a few days, you will choose to fight over the higher ranks. There are still 8 7-star cosmic gods. Winning streak, don't worry. This sentence angered those 7-star universe gods. King of the Northern Realm, I advise you to be kind. The fighting strength of the unparalleled brother, 1 sword kills 7 stars. One sentence scared the 7-star cosmic who had won 9 consecutive victories to death, affecting the performance of Brother Wushuang. Yes, hurry up and go somewhere cool, don't make trouble here. Jian Wushuang, we support you, continue the battle, and go back with a 10 victory today. You are the most powerful universe in the entire starry sky. What do these people mean? The Realm King will not know, and immediately scolded several 7-star universe gods. The gap between the 7-star cosmic gods and the 8-star cosmic gods is huge. As far as Jian Wushuang killed the 7-star cosmic with 1 sword, any 8-star cosmic can do it. Completely qualitative difference. Insurmountable. I don't know if he is the strongest universe god, but I know he is the strongest universe lord. Jian Wushuang just glanced at the king of the Northern Realm, and then gestured with his hand. I want to take the 9th battle. Boom. The whole place shook again. Good job, brothers of the 7 stars cosmic god. We have survived the biggest catastrophe. I actually really want to fight with Jian Wushuang. I also use a sword. I don't know whose sword is stronger. Some of the cosmic gods, who were depressed, were also a little disappointed. But it attracted the roar of the universe gods who wanted to reincarnate by winning 10 battles. Don't pretend to be a master. With your little strength, it's not enough for Wushuang to draw a sword. What a master! Why do you want to fight? Okay, hurry up and win 8 consecutive victories and see how I kill you. For a while, there was chaos in the audience. The girl in the python robe also showed a hint of admiration at this time. When looking at Jian Wushuang, his tone was no longer stiff. Jian Wushuang, are you sure that the 9th battle will start today? Your opponent will be an 8-star cosmic god, and it will be an immediate 8-star cosmic god, maybe a cosmic with 8-star 6-game winning streak. Yes. Jian Wushuang did not hesitate. Seeing that he was so firm, the girl in the python robe stopped talking nonsense and immediately began to scream. At this moment, the audience was silent, waiting for the name to appear. Many 8-star cosmic gods clenched their fists. Want to see who has such good luck? Swish. Yi Liangchen, the 8-star universe god, 6 consecutive victories. In the audience, a very arrogant young man stared at the name in disbelief. It turned out to be me. The next moment, his expression burst into joy. With my luck, even if I reincarnate on the spot, I'm afraid I will be reincarnated into the giant god race. Yi Liangchen laughed wildly. Ukanshu. Many 8-star cosmic gods cast envious glances. Picked up a giant axe medal for nothing. You can reach the 7-game winning streak in the 8-star universe god. It is only 3 games away from the 10-game winning streak. Brother Yi, congratulations. Congratulations to Emperor Yi Tian. Congratulations, Brother Liangchen. Many people have already started to congratulate. And Yi Liangchen also clasped his fists and said politely, thank you, everyone. Don't praise me too much, maybe Wushuang brother, and hidden, then I may be the stepping stone. That being said, who would believe it? The 6-star cosmic god, to hang up the 8-star cosmic god? Moreover, Yi Liangchen still has the combat power of quasi-9 stars. Who can break it? Those who were still touting Jian Wushuang just now are congratulating Yi Liangchen now. Obviously all clear. Jian Wushuang cannot win. Yi Liangchen took 1 step and came out of the sky. After falling into the arena, he stretched out his hand and said, Brother Wushuang, for the sake of fairness, I will suppress some divine power a little. Let's have a relatively fair battle. This sentence made the king scold. I picked up a bargain, and am still pretending to be arrogant here. Jian Wushuang is fighting for his breath, and him to death for me." The Realm King couldn't help but jumped and cursed. Although he is worried about Jian Wushuang, he wants to be more rational about Jian Wushuang. Can take the initiative to take over the life and death battle of the 8-star universe god. There must be a whole card in hand. Jian Wushuang will naturally not disappoint the Realm King. Random. He clasped his hands, and this time he did not choose to use the source but used divine power. The ultimate eternity. With an angry shout, Jian Wushuang's divine power began to rise. Aha! Boom! Chapter 62:13. The entire arena was shaking. Jian Wushuang's divine power exploded directly to the 8-star level. This. Yi Liangchen was also taken aback. Not to mention those cosmic trials in the audience. The 6-star cosmic god said, "How come his divine power has reached about 8-star? It is estimated that the divine power is really hidden." Jian Wushuang turned a deaf ear, and in a flash, his figure rushed towards Yi Liangchen. Although I am surprised that Jian Wushuang's divine power can reach the point of about 8 stars. The bottom of my heart is very calm. He has a quasi-9-star combat power. But after his next punch from Jian Wushuang, he chose to explode with all his strength. Jian Wushuang's divine power is about 8 stars, but the combat power can reach 9 stars. Yi Liangchen was injured and retreated with one punch. Why are you still hiding your divine power?" He widened his eyes and couldn't believe it. Jian Wushuang did not give him time to react. He shot again and appeared directly behind the opponent, condensing a terrifying colorful beam, which burst out brazenly and directly broke through Yi Liangchen's divine body. This time it is not as simple as an injury, but a serious injury. "It's over." The arena fell silent again. The Realm King also grew his mouth. He knows that Jian Wushuang's origin is more powerful, and now that the divine power has a 9-star level, doesn't it mean that the origin can kill the 9-star? Only at this moment did he really relax. "Jian Wushuang, you can't be this strong, you must be cheating. How can the 6-star cosmic be so strong? Even if you have the divine power of the 8-star cosmic god, you shouldn't be so strong. That's your lack of knowledge." Jian Wushuang slowly shook his head and said, "It'll give you a lot of insight now." Speaking of which, he completely broke out of the ultimate freedom. The speed is like a white light. He was behind him in an instant. A punch smashed Yi Liangchen's left arm. The next moment his right arm also burst open. Jian Wushuang took the opportunity to kick the opponent into the sky. Below him, clumps of pink power condensed. A huge wave of light was born. He suddenly raised his hand and rushed to Yi Liangchen in the sky. Bang! The crackling sound even pierced the eardrums on the spectator seats. "Is he dead?" Someone blankly pointed at Yi Liangchen, who had no scum left in the sky, his eyes dull. "It seems like that's how it happened. Now the pressure is on the 9-star cosmic god's side. It has nothing to do with our 7-star cosmic god, ha." Someone is already delirious. I even began to wonder if Jian Wushuang was a gap sent by the land of disorder. It is to kill the high-end combat power in the starry sky. The idea was later rejected. Because the great Realm King, in this city, is invincible. In Chaos City, dare to fight the sky. This is the commentary of the City Lord's mansion. No one dared to object. Because there was a 9-star universe who challenged the bottom line of the great Realm King. As a result, consciousness shattered instantly. Only then did they discover that their consciousness was in the realm of the realm, while the realm of the realm was in the sea of consciousness of the great realm. Especially in Chaos City, the great Realm King can easily change whatever he wants. It came out of nowhere. If you want any source path, you can also be born immediately. It's no different from the land of disorder. The only difference is that the great Realm King is invincible in his own territory, and the realm beasts in the disordered land are not. After all, the Protoss went out to kill the beasts. There is no world beast that can be invincible in the land of disorder. Or will you worry about the stars? The 9th battle, Jian Wushuang wins. The voice of the girl in the python robe fell, and the audience did not vibrate. They are all looking at the 9-star universe gods who are watching the battle of life and death. At this moment, they are even more excited than Jian Wushuang. They all want to witness this unprecedented feat. One of the hard-working old men in black robes took a deep breath. The 6-game winning streak among the 8-star cosmic gods has been screened, and the 6-game winning streak among the 9-star cosmic gods will not be screened. Don't worry, Senior. This time we all support you. Why don't you take the initiative? Several 9-star universe gods walked up with smiling faces. This time they were really scared. The combat power that Jian Wushuang had just erupted had reached the level of the 9 stars cosmic god. Although they are not ordinary 9-star universe gods, they are afraid that Jian Wushuang will explode again. By then I was dumbfounded. Cough, you don't come here, everything depends on fate, I don't believe it will be me. The bitter old man smiled proudly. He didn't want to play either. It's not that I don't dare, it's that I don't want to. Simply don't want to. I just want to see Jian Wushuang break everything. Witness history together. Rather than making itself history. Win or lose, being selected will exist in history. For example, winning against a heaven-defying cosmic god will be reviled. If you lose, you still get scolded. It's not a good feeling to be scolded as rubbish. The python robe girl was screened again. There are few names this time. There are only a few 9-star universe gods. Everyone's eyes didn't dare to blink. They were all waiting for the result. Kaka. Bitter. Life. Old. People. For big characters, floating in the air. My life is like this. The hardworking old man looked up at the sky. Is it really a problem with the name? He was really miserable. It was originally a super powerhouse in the 9th star district in the starry sky. Ukanshu. There was a family, and later the family was swallowed by the monsters in the void. He is inspired to become the strongest among the universe gods. Joined the sect. As a result, the sect was destroyed and was hunted down by the enemy. Endless starry sky, endless years. In the end, he became the god of the 9 stars, and on his way back to revenge, he encountered an attack by a world beast that had not been encountered in hundreds of millions of years. Shattered the king's continent. Came to the 9th star district. The poor old man was destroyed by the aftermath of the battle between the star spirit and the beast on the way to revenge. The fall is extremely embarrassing. In order to make up for it, he entered the realm of the king of gods. After coming here, he also doubted himself. Later I found that my luck was okay. In the arena, win 6 life and death battles in a row. Slowly I regained my confidence. He can't wait for his opponent later. That is, now he has the idea of reincarnation. I want to start all over again. At that time, the family and the sect will be completely renewed. He will have everything he once had. But the day before he was ready to reincarnate, driven by curiosity, he came to the arena to watch the life and death battle of the 6-star universe god. Unexpectedly, the life and death battle of the 6-star cosmic can actually burn the fire on his head. In terms of the degree of unlucky, the starry sky is the first, and no one dares to say the second. Ugh! The bitter old man let out a long sigh and took the initiative to walk down the auditorium. Jian Wushuang, I don't know if it's you who suffers, or if I call for suffering, it should be suffering. This sentence made Jian Wushuang a little embarrassed because he couldn't understand it. Senior hard life, you are the most powerful among the 9-star cosmic gods. How can you have a hard life? He immediately remembered that he had come from a weakling, and that was a hard life. I know better than anyone what it feels like to be taken away from everything. Chapter 62:14. On the wedding night, his wife was taken away. In pursuit of his wife's whereabouts, he spent a lot of thought. After finding his wife, he thought his life was over. But on the road to find a master, I thought I was already at the top. Master can be found quickly. As a result, after leaving, the wife, children didn't know what was going on. Billions of years. It went by in a flash. Everything is dust. Senior hard life, compared with mortals, you have no idea how many times better. You can become a 9-star universe god, and your luck is even against the sky. I don't think your life is hard, but I think you are very lucky. Then I'll borrow your auspicious words. The bitter old man gave a wry smile. The two bowed to each other. This battle is a farewell. Go ahead, Jian Wushuang shouted, and a sharp sword light appeared in his eyes. Divine power erupted together with the source. Clang. The sword of 10,000 tribulations was pulled out. He will use the strongest sword to meet his strongest battle. 9 stars are also enemies. Clang. The sword light burst out. Form an infinite sword shadow. It seems that the entire realm of the realm is to be opened up. Suddenly rush towards the hard-fought old man. The 6th sword of the Starry Sky catalog is far from comparable to the first 5 swords. This sword carries too many things. It is also the perfect sword condensed by the power of disorder he has absorbed over the years. It was the peak of the 6th sword. If he wants to play the 6th sword perfectly, he still needs to go through the supreme divine tribulation. The bitter old man frowned and stared at the sword. With one hand raised, a black diamond border appeared in front of him. Refraction. Take my life for your life. It depends on which of us suffers more. At the moment when Lingjing appeared, everyone leaked shocked faces. This is the mirror of fate. How can there be hardship? It's over, God of destiny, that is the real God of time and space, stronger than the messenger of the star spirit, and is already close to the king of the great realm, and his treasure of destiny will be in the hands of Kuming. It's not real, it's just imitation. The realm king was well informed, and he noticed the strangeness at a glance. Because the fate reflected did not reach the level of the supreme rule. The sword light rushed over. The mirror did reflect a sword light. However, the sword light was still heading towards the bitter old man. It is stronger than the genuine sword light emitted by Jian Wushuang. Because refraction will add up. It was originally just the power of a sword, but because of the hard-earned old man's treasure, he doubled the difficulty abruptly. It seems that my life is more difficult. He gave up completely. Hands open to meet death. Swish. The sword pierced through the hard-fought old man. The divine body of consciousness shattered. Everything has become a bubble. One of the strongest 9-star cosmic gods in the entire realm of the gods was defeated by Jian Wushuang. Why didn't Sei fall? It's because the other party still has consciousness left. Look at the sky. Everyone looked up. I saw a huge phantom appearing in the sky. His skin is the same as Kaiwang's, and his appearance is even similar. It's just that majesty that makes everyone show respect. The king of the northern realm even knelt down. The king of the great realm. Although Jian Wushuang did not kneel down, he bowed to meet him. This is the strongest existence in the consciousness god realm. The first great realm king who opened up the realm and established the realm of the realm. Except for the star spirit, this is the one. Although Protoss is powerful, it is not a cultivator after all. The great realm king of the first generation was a practitioner. I have seen the great realm king. The girl in the python robe also bowed and saluted. Su Ying smiled lightly. Jian Wushuang, congratulations on your victory in 10 battles. You can meet me at the city lord's mansion later. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded respectfully. He did not expect the great realm king to speak so well. After he finished speaking, the consciousness that affected the hard-working old man disappeared. Only then did the audience realize that Jian Wushuang had won. When outright, the shot is the strongest sword and won 10 consecutive victories. Become the 4th in history. He is also the first 6-star universe in the entire history who defeated the 9-star universe and won 10 consecutive victories. The congratulations are endless. Jian Wushuang did not have any excitement. Because he has that confidence. Even if the 6th sword is not enough, he can completely explode his consciousness and raise his divine power to the 9-star great perfection. Who will be his opponent at that time? 9 stars great perfection, there are not many in the entire Realm King continent. Is the real supreme power. The invincible powerhouse under the god of time and space. That's why he is so confident. Bitterly old man? Jian Wushuang looked at the girl in the python robe. He wondered why the poor old man was taken away. Of course, not wanting to kill each other. Just pure curiosity. This is the rule, a life and death battle. It was just taken away. The rest of the people were not surprised because he defeated the 9 stars universe god, who still cares about the life and death of the poor old man. Hard life, no loss is hard life. But when Jian Wushuang learned the truth, he admired the other party's good fortune. It's time for the old man to decide to reincarnate. Maybe you haven't noticed that there is no black and white in the realm of the Realm King. You should know this. Actually, when I talked a lot earlier, the time a lot has passed, and now it's day 2. Jian Wushuang heard the words and admired the hard-working old man even more. It actually made the girl in the python robe delay it for time. This life is simply not too good. As for why the battle of life and death was not interrupted, it was because of the order of the great Realm King, who wanted to see if Jian Wushuang could defeat the old man. Now it looks like it's a win. Either way went. He walked out of the arena calmly. Cheers followed. He did not go directly to the city lord's mansion. Instead, he returned to the place where he stayed with the king of the realm. Cave World. By the lake. Jian Wushuang fishes leisurely. At this time, the Realm King pulled away and rushed over. Why did you come back and you are still in the mood to fish? Now the outside world is all talking about you. That hard worker has been reincarnated, but he has awakened his memory and he will be laughed at. But if one person here is reincarnated successfully, your record will be if you are exposed, then you will become a peerless genius in the starry sky, and the hardworking old man is still the hardworking old man. It's just rumors, it's not hard life. I really want to wake up my memory. He has already succeeded, more successful than many people present. Why bother to talk about it? In the face of Jian Wushuang's rebuttal, the Realm King also nodded. Jian Wushuang, you have grown up, and now you will educate me. How dare I? Jian Wushuang waved his fishing rod and said indifferently, how about eating fish at night? Sure. The reason why he didn't go directly to the city lord's mansion was because of his state of mind. Fishing for heart. Eat fish, go. Remember to be respectful when you meet the great Realm King. The Realm King looked at Jian Wushuang's back, with pride in his eyes. Chapter 62:15. With the complete rise of the northern time and space, you can see the unparalleled one. After Jian Wushuang left, there was also a message on his summoning token. The 7 sources have been gathered. Jian Wushuang can be resurrected at any time. Hold on. This is the king's answer. Maybe Jian Wushuang stayed here for a longer time, and the growth rate would be faster. Outside the city lord's mansion, Jian Wushuang came alone. On the way, he met many cosmic gods who greeted him, and he replied one by one. There is no arrogance because of his 10-game winning streak. Jian Wushuang, the junior asks to see you, shouted, but no one answered. He didn't know whether to enter or not. But just as he looked up, he found himself in the city lord's mansion. This is an elegant loft. On the balcony on the 2nd floor, the great Realm King sat on a chair and drank tea leisurely. Looking at Jian Wushuang below, he said, "Come up and talk." With just one sentence, Jian Wushuang had already arrived at the chair next to the great Realm King. Magic. Curious. This is Jian Wushuang's mood at this time. But these are small things and don't waste time and opportunities. He immediately said, Senior Great Realm King, I want to know the ultimate secret of the starry sky, and I also want to get a magic pot that can carry more world beast consciousness. Simple. The Great Realm King waved his hand, and the surrounding world changed again. Out of order. A vast and disorderly place. It was deserted, and there was no movement. But Jian Wushuang felt the flow of time. Every breath is an endless cycle of reincarnation. After a few breaths passed, the screen began to change. Jian Wushuang seems to be deep inside. Look, the starry sky is about to be born, In the barren disorder, countless figures suddenly appeared. All are beasts. Moreover, they are also extremely powerful beasts, each of which is no less than Morosa. The moment when these world beasts gathered here, Jian Wushuang thought of Morosa's words. As predicted, the creator of the starry sky is the beast. In the blink of an eye, these world beasts began to die out. The pole absorbs all of this awareness and power. Immediately the pole began to burst into a gleam of light. Always shining. There is no intention to stop. This makes Jian Wushuang a little curious. It is possible that the time and space opened up by the starry sky will take a long time. Every breath, I don't know how much light of reincarnation. The great realm king, seeming to see his doubts, said indifferently, "The starry sky has been opened up, it is the extreme." What? Just this little bit? He couldn't believe it, and thought that the great realm king was joking with him. "If you don't believe me, then turn it back and zoom in for you to see." The great realm king waved his hand, and time went back to the time before the world beast died out. The poles start to enlarge, not expand. Among the extremes is the current starry sky. It's just that at that time, there were no four major dimensions of time and space, and it was already the realm king continent. 12 floors of the starry sky. 12 constellations. At the same time, a strange being in a strange costume appeared. This is the star spirit. They each have a scepter. Jian Wushuang saw Weiss, and it seemed that the other party saw him too, and gave him a signature smile. The gesture of covering his mouth did not change. Then look at the rest of the Protoss. The star spirits are similar in appearance. One of the small Protoss was standing in the first star sector. He seems to be different from other celestial spirits, but Jian Wushuang can't tell which one is. After the portraits of the 12 star spirits appeared, in the first star sector, there is also a throne. The throne carries Jian Wushuang on his back, but it can be seen that there is a slender arm on the throne. The hand is also different from the human race, but has yellow skin and 4 fingers. He is the founder of the starry sky? The great realm king nodded and said, "Yes, the entire starry sky was created by him." "Can't you see the other person's face?" "No." The great realm king shook his head. In fact, the most curious thing about Jian Wushuang is the founder of starry sky. Curious about each other's looks and other identities. This question, since he heard the secret that Morosa told him, began to think about it. I wonder if Teacher Xuani is the founder of starry sky. Otherwise, how could he give him such a powerful treasure? From a young age, he began to guide him. It seemed to guide him all the way to the stars. Now I can't see the right face, and am a little disappointed. Teacher Xuani's face should be that of a kind old man. It's nothing like the leaking arm. Then look down. The time of the stars is quickly lost. He saw a huge scorpion in the first star area, and his heart was also shocked, as if he had seen each other. This is the eye of the giant god, and the ancestor of the giant clan. The eye of the giant god? Jian Wushuang was shocked. This is also a big man. I heard that he is already the ultimate powerhouse in the space-time god. The life created is the first in the starry sky, constantly changing with changing faces. In the end, the king continent appeared on the top of the starry sky. He also saw the great realm king when he was young, and he was in high spirits. From the 9th star sector. It is the pride of the entire 9th sector. He opened up the 4 major dimensions of time and space, and opened up the realm king continent. It also opened up a strange world of consciousness such as the realm of the king of the gods. Just like the origin world Morosa said. After seeing the end, Jian Wushuang learned about the era of the great realm king, which is actually at this moment. Because there is not a single breath in total. But experienced so much in the stars. Cole. After reading all this, Jian Wushuang let out a long sigh of relief. Not excited. I had already guessed it before. Nature is calm now. The great realm king glanced at him and said with a smile, "Little guy, you are the first person to be so calm after reading this." To be honest, I've already guessed it, so am not too excited. Jian Wushuang answered truthfully. Then you're not curious, why did the 12 star spirits appear in the end when those realm kings died out? Aren't they also world beasts? Jian Wushuang pointed to the influence of Weiss, and then said, "It should be better to have a relationship with the founder of the starry sky, and it is also for better management of the starry sky." This is what he guessed. The great realm king laughed after hearing this. You think too narrowly about the founder of the starry sky, and underestimate the existence of star spirits. They are indeed world beasts, but they are the masters of world beasts. After the beast consciousness was completely shattered, not all of them entered the starry sky, but 12 star spirits were condensed. To be precise, there was actually only one star spirit, the big star officer, but the big star officer couldn't. Having endured so much, I took out 11 parts of the power from the body and created the current 12 star spirits. Speaking of which, these star spirits still have to take care of the big star officials and call them Godfather. It turned out to be like this. Jian Wushuang was shocked when he heard the words. The power is too much to bear, so if you take out 11 copies at will, you will be 11 celestial spirits. Chapter 62:16. How powerful does this big star officer have to be? There is a big gap between Protoss and cultivators. It can even be said that practitioners cannot surpass the celestial spirits in their entire lives. The sky-defying Great Realm King, the character who covered the starry sky, is not the opponent of the star spirit. Even encountering a star spirit, it will be crushed. The Great Realm King is the ultimate of time and space. Compared with the star spirit of the stars, it is indeed a big difference. But with his talent, the Great Realm King is no longer a ghost. After all, the power of the star spirits comes from the big star officials, and it involves the origin, which is the power left by those world beasts. No wonder Morosa hated Protoss so much. The origin of the starry sky has been sparsely known, but Jian Wushuang is concerned about Morosa in the bottom of his heart. He also admired the Great Realm King even more. It is possible to open up this world of consciousness in the starry sky. Wouldn't it be possible to open up a starry sky? Just because of lack of power. Power is something that can actually be cultivated or absorbed. The original King of Gods did not deceive those world beasts, and finally opened up the starry sky by himself. Senior Great Realm King, I have one last thing I want to ask you. Jian Wushuang bowed his head in a respectful tone. But it doesn't matter. The Great Realm King had a kind expression on his face, as if he knew everything. The younger generation wants to know the origin of the disordered land. He had wanted to ask this for a long time. He couldn't believe what Morosa said, and wanted to know something from the Great Realm King. The secret of the starry sky has lost its appeal to him. He wants to know more about the nature of this world, or its origin. After the Great Realm King heard it, he took a deep breath, but did not speak. Finally sighed. I can't answer you this question. Because I don't know it myself, there are too many secrets in the land of disorder, not only those world beasts, but maybe you won't figure it out until you reach the real limit. The Great Realm King shook his head slightly. Nice eyes can't be deceived. Even if Jian Wushuang's strength is nothing compared to the Great Realm King, he can still see the fear in the opponent's eyes. Maybe because of the God King, he couldn't say it. Even in a world created by oneself. It was me who was abrupt. Jian Wushuang stood up and saluted again. It's nothing, what you care about is right. You can't put your vision on the Realm King continent or even the starry sky, but the entire disordered land. After reaching the cosmic God, right and wrong are no longer bound, and you should pursue the ultimate. When the Great Realm King said these words, his eyes flickered. There is a flash of memory. This light is a black mist. Jian Wushuang lowered his head and did not notice. The conversation with the Great Realm King soon ended, and also got a magic pot that can carry the of time and space. Allow him to quickly devour Morosa's consciousness. Finally got an unexpected receipt. With the magic pot, he was ready to go directly to the border. But he was stopped by the King of the Northern Realm. Jian Wushuang, are you really not going to leave? The Colosseum won 10 consecutive victories and was awarded the Tomahawk Medal. You can specify reincarnation directly with the memory of the past life. However, the outside world, Huiqing and others, have collected special origins for him, and they can also reshape the new life. Both paths can be directly reborn. But at this time Jian Wushuang was not in a hurry at all. Instead his fighting spirit rose. Want to eradicate the threat for the Great Realm King. Completely ruined Morosa. Wait for a while, I want to help the Great Realm King get rid of Morosa. This sentence startled the king. He stared at Jian Wushuang with disbelief, looked around, and after finding no one he said anxiously, Jian Wushuang, are you crazy? What role is Morosa? Do you understand? I know that he is a world beast, an incomparably powerful world beast, the kind of world beast that can wrestle with a star spirit. Jian Wushuang replied bluntly. Then you still have to go. Even if your thought power is strong, the pressure of consciousness can consume Morosa. But have you ever thought about it? Anything will happen in the land of disorder. If there is a way against you, you will be finished. Morosa can fail many times, and it's consumed a lot. It's a big deal and slaps the and leaves, and you? You only have one life left. You can't play those world beasts. Come with me. The king of the northern realm kept persuading. But it is to say that the immovable sword has no tenacity in the bottom of his eyes. No sooner said than done. 100,000 epochs, tell Huiqing them, wait for me 100,000 epochs. He didn't explain anything anymore, and his figure rose directly into the sky, heading towards the frontier land again. After reappearing, Morosa appeared directly. Jie, it seems that you are on me? If not. Jian Wushuang directly took out the magic pot and began to absorb Morosa's consciousness. The magic pot made by the great realm king himself is really unusual. It only took a day to absorb it. With a heartbeat he entered the magic pot. Morosa's clone was already waiting for him. You are arrogant enough to absorb so much power from me, but do you know how strong I am now? I don't know, but it's enough to kill you. Powerful consciousness. Except for the great realm king, he is the most powerful in the entire consciousness world. The brazenly shot sword light swept the entire magic pot world. In just a few breaths, Morosa's clone was strangled. The land of chaos, the deity of Morosa. The extremely ugly face is extremely hideous. Damn human monk. He roared angrily, and the surrounding nothingness was shaking. In the ugly red eyes, the mist filled the air. Beth, bring your treasure over here. His eyes also looked into the depths of the disordered land. There are countless statues there. When the word Beth was shouted, one of the statues began to loosen, the crack above it shattered, and finally a world beast similar to Morosa appeared. His eyes also turned to the position where he was called. Morosa, a human kid, forcing you to be like this? What a waste. Although he said so, his body was very honest, and he rushed towards the deity of Morosa at the fastest speed. Jian Wushuang doesn't know yet. Morosa really has a backhand that he doesn't know, as the king said. In fact, he was still too confident, and felt that he could deal with it even if he had a backhand. This is too small to look down on those world beasts. Repeated cycles several times. He absorbed more of the origin of the beasts. The source starry sky also lights up more universes. The complete river of time and space is getting brighter and brighter, and it is a lot of perfect universes. In the blink of an eye, an era has passed. Morosa's consciousness also dropped significantly. Jian Wushuang was extremely excited and accelerated his speed. Every time is an instant kill. Under this situation, Morosa is not an opponent at all. After absorbing Morosa's consciousness again, Jian Wushuang entered the magic pot with a thought. As usual, after entering the magic pot, he wanted to shoot directly to kill Morosa's clone. Chapter 62:17. But this time with all his strength, Morosa on the opposite side did not move. Jian Wushuang, do you still think him the same as before? Morosa raised his hand slightly, and a powerful pressure struck instantly. That terrifying power has reached the level of the of time and space. It is definitely not a power that Jian Wushuang can deal with. This. Jian Wushuang was also taken aback. He did not expect the other party to find a way to deal with him so quickly. But this is a magic pot. He knows how much power he absorbs. Morosa should not be so powerful. What? Surprised? Morosa had a look of disdain on his face. There are still many things that surprise you, but you won't have the chance to see it in the future, because you will be swallowed up by me immediately, and it will be my power. It's impossible. The magic pot was made by the seniors of the great realm king. You can't bring so much power. He knows the power that the magic pot carries, and it is impossible to bring any more. How could Morosa take advantage of it? Hearing his questioning, Morosa's mouth rose proudly and said, "You wouldn't think that the great realm king who opened up this world." Before the words were finished, the magic pot suddenly shattered. Morosa was startled and said angrily, "Old guy, do you dare to take action?" The magic pot was broken. Jian Wushuang also got rid of the coercion and instantly relaxed. "Morosa, do you really think you can crush me?" An angry shout came from the air. I saw a huge face pressing down. The breath was so strong that it was impossible to breathe. Morosa's clone disappeared instantly from the outside world, and a huge face followed. It's just that this face is extremely ugly. The king of the great realm. Jian Wushuang was ecstatic when he saw the person coming, and he couldn't help but get excited. This was the first time he saw the ultimate powerhouse of a cultivator. It is also the pride of practitioners. Great King, compete against Morosa, a world beast who can compete with Protoss. You go back first. The great realm king glanced at Jian Wushuang with kindness in his eyes. Yes. Jian Wushuang didn't say much, and after handing over his hands, he directly broke through the air and left. It's not something he can interfere with anymore. Naturally to leave. Staying behind is also a hindrance, distracting the great realm king. After leaving the frontier land, he felt a powerful aura from behind. The bottom of my heart couldn't help trembling. Sure enough, Morosa's backhand is not what I can imagine. Jian Wushuang sighed. According to the original plan, it was to eradicate Morosa, but now that I think about it, he is naive. Even the king of the northern realm saw this, but he was the only one who kept going. Although I felt a little lost in my heart, when I thought of returning to the Realm King continent immediately, my mood recovered a lot. The king of the northern realm was already waiting for him at the city gate. Just as he beckoned, the Realm King trotted over. "Jian Wushuang, let's go now. You've already been targeted by Morosa. It's not good for you to stay." "Yes." He nodded solemnly. Seeing this, the Realm King immediately took out a piece of jade slip, and after chatting with each other, colorful lights appeared on the two of them. "Ha, I'm finally leaving." The king of the northern realm smiled happily. He has been here enough for all these years. Unlike Jian Wushuang, who can cultivate and fight, he can't do anything. It is more comfortable to return to the Realm King continent, or to go to your own northern time and space. The streamer flashed. The consciousness of Jian Wushuang and the Realm King instantly disappeared into the world of consciousness. A pair of big hands raised the two of them, and they had returned to the Realm King continent while the sky was spinning. It's just that consciousness returns, not the flesh. Consciousness floats above the realm of King's continent. The king of the realm rolled his eyes, and after seeing a ray of light, he said loudly, "Where is it?" "That is the eastern center of the King's continent. Dongsheng Star Territory." As soon as he saw the position clearly, Jian Wushuang felt that his consciousness was pulled away, and that feeling made him feel very uncomfortable. But it was only temporary, and he regained consciousness almost instantly. Opening his eyes, he was floating in the sky. The sun was shining and there was no one around. Looking down, he saw nothing on his body. As soon as his heart moved, a thick black robe appeared on his body. "Call." He just let out a breath. "Where's the Realm King?" He looked around twice, but didn't find the Realm King. I didn't see Hui Qing and others. He was alone on a small island. Just came back from rebirth. With an unforgettable excitement in his heart, he landed on the island, took down the unknown fruit and gnawed it. After eating 2 bites, I realized that I could use the communication token. When he took it out, he found that there were many messages on it. "Brother Wushuang, we are on the Qinya Star in the Dongsheng Star region, and the senior king of the realm is also here. Come quickly. Wait for me for a day." He threw away the fruit, his breath moved, and he rose directly into the air. The figure straightened up and left this world. Reemergence has reached the void. After locking Chiba Star, go directly. At this time, Babada's voice also rang. "Master, you're finally back. I've been waiting so hard for you. I made you worry." Jian Wushuang laughed at himself. He immediately asked, "By the way, why are Hui Qing and the others in Chiba Star?" He also thought that he would go to Zhenbei City, or the star field of the gods. I didn't expect Chiba's star in the Dongxing star region. Here he has also heard. It is the extremity of the eastern territory of the Realm King continent. Just like Zhongzhou in the entire Jiwang continent. There are countless strong people. Universal gods are very common. Could it be that there is trouble? Thinking of this, Jian Wushuang couldn't help clenching his fists, feeling the real divine power. Now it is no longer in the realm of the realm of the realm, but in the real realm of the realm of the realm. Divine power is naturally not as exaggerated as the realm of consciousness. But not too bad. This fleshly body carries 200 million basic divine power. There are also 2 stars on the chest. 2-star universe god. The basic divine power of 200 million is already very good for him now. He also has super eternal transformation and ultimate eternal transformation. Coupled with the strongest trump card, Zizhan Yi Gong. It is hard to imagine how powerful the peak combat power is. At the beginning, Weiss said that the 9 Tribulations realm's free-spirited Qigong can reach the Theravada realm, but now it seems that I am still a little short. He is still in the 9 Tribulations realm and has not crossed the Divine Tribulation yet. It's not that the strength is not enough, but that there is no good entry point. In terms of origin, although he has reached the quasi-space-time level, he still lacks something. Compared with the northern time and space, he may be inferior to the realm. This needs opportunity, and it can't be rushed. I thought that I could find a suitable opportunity in the realm of the king. For example, killing Moroso would be able to overcome the calamity. Too bad he didn't do it. Babata held back for a long time before slowly replying, "There is some trouble, but there is no danger. It seems to be an agreement between Wu Zua and the king of the realm." Agreement. Chapter 62:18. Jian Wushuang was a little surprised, but he still made an agreement with the Realm King God. In the years since he left, it seems that a lot has happened. Now Wu Zua and the others can already have a relationship with the Realm King God. When Wu Zua was looking for a source, he met Lord Jiwangxin, and the two made an agreement before handing over the source to Wu Zua. Now that the master is resurrected, Wu Zua and Hui Qing went to Qinya Star to complete that agreement. What was the agreement? It seems like it's a competition. There is an ancient ruin in Qinya Star. Every reincarnation ruin appears once. When it appears, all the gods of the universe will come. The one who wins the first place can get a copy of the Realm King continent. A treasure born. Hearing Babata's explanation, he was surprised. Isn't that the treasure nurtured in the Realm King? What kind of agreement is this? He didn't quite understand. Babata didn't understand even more. But Jian Wushuang can detect that there will be problems. It's also faster. The extreme east, Chiba Star. Said to be a planet, in fact, it is more like a huge war machine. Even the 4 directions of time and space are gray. From the outside, the planet is quaint and dilapidated. But the power above is not fake, especially the famous Chiba. Each leaf is extremely huge, exceeding the range of hundreds of millions of miles. And it is extremely sharp. If Qinya Xing is urged to attack the cultivator, I am afraid that the 9-star cosmic will be difficult to stop. It is enough to crush the super treasure of the 9-star universe god. This is Jian Wushuang's first reaction after seeing it. Descend to Chiba Star. As soon as the thought force moved, he found the breath of Wu Zua and others. The figure flashed, and when he reappeared, he had arrived on a small steel island full of sewage. Fall from the sky. Right in front of Wu Zua and others. Jian Wushuang. The sharp-eyed Wu Li was surprised and delighted when he saw him. Wu Zua and Hui Qing also quickly turned their heads and looked over. Seeing that familiar face, he could no longer suppress the excitement in his heart and rushed towards him. "Everyone, I kept you waiting." He nodded slightly. "It's been a long time." The king of the northern realm also appeared behind him. Looking at them, there is relief in their eyes. Let's go in and talk. We won't go home if we don't get drunk today." "No problem." The 5 walked into a dilapidated hut next to them together. It looks broken on the outside, but the inside is intact. Several people sat opposite each other, and through the gray bars, they could see everything outside. The rain was dripping slowly. Change cups in the house. After drinking a lot of alcohol, several people also talked about some things that happened in these years. Jian Wushuang was the first to speak out about the realm of the King of Gods. First of all, I talked about the structure of the realm, and this alone made them grow their mouths in surprise. When it comes to the 10-game winning streak in the arena behind, it is even more enthusiastic. As for Morosa, he didn't say it, because it was too far away from them. If it is not in the realm of the King of the Gods, Jian Wushuang can't touch it himself. So it was not mentioned. My experience over the years, although not as wonderful as Wushuang brother, but not bad. Wu Zue picked up the wine glass and smiled proudly. Isn't it because you have a relationship with the Realm King God? I don't know if you thought you were the great Realm King. Hey, don't say it, Lord Realm King Shen really said that back then. I have the appearance of a Realm King. Wu Zue heard the words not only without thinking, but also very proud. Wu Li shook his head and smiled bitterly. No more talking too much, knowing that Wu Zue is shameless. Almost everyone knows about Wu Zue, except Jian Wushuang. Therefore, Jian Wushuang is the most curious. Brother Wu Zue, tell me, how did you get involved with Lord Realm King God? Then we have to start from afar. Wu Zue laughed lightly, and there was a memory in his eyes. It's a terrifying place. I swear I'll never go there again in my life. I don't dare to take a look at it again. Through Wu Zue's eyes, he seemed to be able to see the place where he described the horror. Hell. A place that makes the universe gods feel like hell. There are evil thoughts after the death of life everywhere. Once you fall, you will be no one and no ghost. That's where Wu Zue met the Kaiwang god. The reason why he went there was to find the origin of the resurrection Jian Wushuang. The source of death. Hearing this, Jian Wushuang patted Wu Zue's shoulder without saying anything. Thanks for his help. At that time, when I went deep into it, I encountered a very evil thought, and wanted to pull me in. Just at the moment, the Lord Realm appeared. He not only saved me, but also gave me the source of death. Of course, there is no free lunch in the world. After I agreed to a request from Lord Kaiwang, he gave me the source. Having said that, Wu Zue deliberately paused and looked at Jian Wushuang. The rest of the people know the answer, so it doesn't matter how they behave. The first time they heard Wu Zue talk, they were similar to Jian Wushuang, their eyes widened, looking surprised and curious. What Wu Zue wanted was this effect. Saw that Jian Wushuang was unable to extricate himself. Then he continued, "It's not a request, it's an agreement, but you all only know that the agreement is to go to Qianye Star to find the opportunity given by the Realm King continent, but you don't know the real meaning. What does it mean?" Wu Li looked curious. Wu Zue had never said this before. Fishing. Wu Zue's face sank slightly and he said, "How can the opportunity bestowed by the Realm King continent make Lord Realm King God like it? Of course, there is a reason for it. It is to draw out an existence that threatens the Realm King continent." "Wokeo, why didn't you say it earlier?" Both Wu Li and Shenmu Wang showed terrified eyes. Wu Zue didn't say that at the beginning. Said it was a small favor for the god of the realm. They followed, thinking that they would also be able to make an impression in front of the Realm King. But now that Wu Zue told the truth, they panicked. A terrifying existence that threatens Kaiwang continent. The danger is too great. Able to threaten the realm of the king's continent. At least it is also a 9-star universe god. Among them, the strongest Hui Qing was also the 7-star universe god. The rest of the people have also greatly improved after years of cultivation. But it is no more than a 2-star universe god. Apart from Hui Qing, the strongest Wu Zue is only a 3-star universe god. How do you go fishing for the king of gods? Bring out the horror behind the scenes. I see. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. This is what he was curious about. He was not at all curious about what Wu Zue said before. It was only to make the other party have face, so he showed a look of being unable to extricate himself. Hey, now that Wushuang brother has recovered, this matter is indeed a bit dangerous. I don't force it, you can quit, it'll just go with Wushuang. Chapter 62:19. Things have come to this time, how do we quit? King Shenmu glared at Wu Zhuo, then turned to look at Jian Wushuang. Wu Shuang, what's your current strength? Can you have a 7-star combat power? Asked about this, everyone leaked curious eyes and looked at Jian Wushuang. Especially Hui Qing, there is still a fighting intent in his eyes. Jian Wushuang pointed at himself, took a deep breath, and said, "It's okay, there should be 7-star combat power. It's not that he hides it from everyone, but that he hasn't fought since he recovered, so he can't tell the difference. Everyone can see it together, it should be able to solve the danger." His tone was flat, but he had a sense of confidence. When the Realm King saw this, he finally said, "Everyone, since it is the mission of the Realm King, you must be careful, this time I can't help you anymore. Do not worry." Wu Zhuo boldly patted the Realm King on the shoulder and joked, "As long as I am here, your Realm King's position is absolutely stable. Even if that Zamasu comes, you help the Realm King, we will have a backer in the future." Roll. The Realm King laughed and cursed. It was late into the night to catch up with everyone. Finally, we talked about the ruins of Chiba Star. Said to be a relic, in fact, it is more like an ancient inheritance. Inheritance from a space-time god. Every reincarnation will hold a peak competition of the universe gods. The opponents are the powerhouses of the universe gods from all sides. All they have to do is get first, or to draw out the terrifying existence that Kaiwang God said, even if it is completed. For this opportunity, Jian Wushuang and Hui Qing did not care. Hui Qing's current combat power and realm do not need this kind of opportunity. If you can get it, it is also a good choice for others to use. After paying attention, it was also the 3rd day after Jian Wushuang's resurrection. On this day, many superpowers came to Chiba Star. There are dozens of gods in the universe. There are also some masters of the universe. Qianmen Island. Outside the Chiba Shrine. There is a long queue here. One after another, the gods of the universe or the masters of the universe went to the main hall. This is a test of divine power. 80 million divine power is eligible to enter the hall. This is very simple for us. Wu Zhuo was most familiar with this place and began to explain it to everyone. At this moment, a tall alien of the universe came to the door. The black-armored alien powerhouse suddenly intertwined his arms, and then suddenly burst out with an unmatched aura. What? He raised a punch and burst out brazenly. The power of this punch shocked everyone. Even the universe guarding this place couldn't help but exclaimed, 190 million. This has reached the level of a 2-star cosmic god. He is also the strongest cosmic so far. All right. The black-armored strong man raised his head proudly and entered the hall proudly. The people lining up behind sighed for a while, and then entered the hall in an orderly manner. However, none of them failed, and most of those who were able to get here were the gods of the universe. The divine power naturally exceeds 80 million. As for the Lord of the universe, none of them are weak enough to come here. The divine power is above 80 million, and it only takes all of their strength. Jian Wushuang and the others waited in line for a while before arriving at the door. There is a huge black shining god stone. Wu Zhuo, who was at the front, trembled slightly at the corner of his mouth, raised his hand and slammed it on the divine stone. Boom! After a loud bang, there was trembling all around. I don't know how much stronger than the previous black-armored alien universe god. So strong, cosmic god, at least Samsung's cosmic god. Many lords of the universe were shocked. There are also some cosmic gods, who also secretly recorded Wu Zhuo's appearance. Make him a stronger opponent this time. 170 million divine power, pass. An old man in black robe outside the gate of the temple recorded Wu Zhuo's divine power, nodded, and reached out to teleport Wu Zhuo to the main hall. In the case of no eruption, it can reach 170 million with a single strike, which is indeed the combat power of the Samsung Universe God. The Shenmu King who was behind Wu Zhuo was a little envious, but he didn't want to fall behind Wu Zhuo. Raising his hand for a moment, a beam of light suddenly exploded. Steady bang on the black shining god stone. After the buzzing sound, a series of huge numbers appeared. 220 million, pass. The black-robed old man raised his eyebrows slightly. In fact, it is just a test to screen the Lord of the Universe, and the Universe God does not need to be so serious. King Shenmu enjoyed being surprised by others, and swaggered into the temple. The people behind took a breath of cold air again. It should be 70% of the combat power, not like a casual strike. But there is also a quasi-3-star, and even a 3-star Universe God. Looks like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon this time. The strong seem to get together. After Wu Zue and Shenmu King entered, it was Wu Li's turn. This one is also a good comparison master. Naturally, it will not be weak to the first two. The real combat power was directly exposed, and the full-scale explosion caused the rear space and time to tremble. The black-robed old man's eyes widened. It's not necessary, it's just a small test. I want to show my face and go in and fight people. Boom! Wu Li completed the gathering of energy, and burst out with a punch. The divine power value soared directly to 300 million. Samsung Universe God. Wu Zue, Wu Li, Shenmu Wang. They all have the power of Samsung Universe God. Blue is better than these people, but relatively low-key. Just a random punch to get in. The actual combat power can be ranked in the top 3 among the 6 of them. It's my turn. Jian Wushuang was very relaxed, and he didn't like to show his face too much, so he pointed it out. The divine power value soared to 200 million before it stopped. It seems that I haven't been to the real world for so long, and my control is a bit poor. He smiled wryly and shook his head. Maybe he was too powerful now. Although he is not yet a cosmic god, his basic divine power has reached its limit. Beyond the ordinary universe god, the key is to increase. Super eternity, the ultimate eternity, as well as the beast gods, these are his trump cards. As for the robbery, maybe it's just fate. After all, the path you take is different from that of ordinary people, so you shouldn't be in a hurry. After passing the test, enter the bronze giant gate. Hui Qing, who was behind, also followed. The group is very relaxed, and it is not really a bright spot. But it attracted the attention of 2 mysterious powerhouses in the team. They couldn't see their faces in black robes, and they didn't even have breath. The strength is good, this time may be able to help us. One of the black-robed powerhouses with a relatively small stature, there is relief in his tone. The burly man in black robe was stunned and said in surprise, "Just them? They're just ordinary universe gods, and that kid with a sword on his back is not even a universe god." Hee, don't underestimate them, especially the kid with the divine sword on his back. His strength is not weak, it is difficult for you to beat him. Chapter 62:20. How is that possible? The big man was very surprised when he heard this. Then wait and see. After the exchange of thoughts between the two of them, they had already reached the bronze door. Similar to Jian Wushuang and the others, they all burst into the bronze gate with hundreds of millions of divine power bursting out of one finger. But within an hour, there was no one outside the bronze door. All entered the world behind the bronze door. And at this moment, the old man guarding the gate also closed the bronze gate. A pendulum struck the fear that had been sleeping for hundreds of millions of years. The world behind the door. Like an endless barren land. Like disorder. Divine power is extremely violent here. Everyone could not contain the shock in their hearts. Of course, some people participated several times, but they didn't care too much. They stayed where they were, as if they were waiting for something. Jian Wushuang and the others looked around curiously. When I came, I also searched for news about this place, but there is a gap between what outsiders said. Well, where's the difference? After Wu Li heard Wu Zue's words, he looked over in surprise. Wu Zue heard the words, raised his hand to condense his divine power, and explained, "If I guessed correctly, our divine power has been increased at least by 10%. The pinnacle of his divine power, the Samsung Universe God. Now it can explode 350 million divine powers. It is an increase of 30 million divine power. I didn't even notice it." Jian Wushuang was a little embarrassed. He was considered the strongest, but his details were not as good as Wu Zue and others. I didn't find that this place could actually increase divine power. But on second thought, this place is similar to the land of disorder. The divine power is not suppressed by the supreme rules, and naturally some release can be obtained. If it is in a real disorderly place, I am afraid it will be stronger. The realm of the realm king, the same is true. Thinking of this, his heart moved. When he was in the realm of the realm king, his divine power could explode to the level of the 9 stars and even the god of time and space. It is because there is no rule suppression, and the power of thought has been released, so it is so powerful. When he was in the northern time and space, the god realm he had obtained was this truth. That treasure can evade the power of the rules, and it can burst into a more powerful divine power. Unfortunately, the stronger the strength, the more ruthless the rules will suppress. That kind of heaven-defying treasure no longer exists, unless it is refined by the founder of Starry Sky. Otherwise, the Protoss will also abide by the rules. Everyone increases, doesn't that mean there is no increase? King Shenmue covered his face, not caring at all. This is also true, everyone has become stronger, doesn't that mean that they haven't become stronger? It seems to make sense. Wu's was scratched his head, then turned to look at a blood-red cloud behind him, and said, "Everyone, the big one is coming." Following Wu's was reminder, everyone looked over. The blood cloud came. Before entering this place, Wu's was said that the danger is the universe gods from all over the world. But to make them fight, they also need some means. This blood cloud is. Everyone jumped into the air uncontrollably and began to lean towards the blood cloud. Don't be nervous. Not feeling malicious, everyone relaxed. Uncontrolled soaring into the blood cloud. But when Wu Zhuo turned his head to look, he realized that Jian Wushuang had not followed. Still standing there. He had never encountered such a situation before. Jian Wushuang took a deep breath and tightened his hands. He was resisting the powerful thought force just now, but he did not expect to resist it. The consciousness here, there is no way to take him, and he can move freely. You don't mind me. He comforted him, his figure flashed, and he directly surpassed the crowd, only to enter the cloud of blood in the blink of an eye. The surroundings are desolate, and he can only enter this place. After descending on the blood cloud, he could see what it looked like. This is a huge arena. There are also various Optimus pillars on it. Just when he was surprised, a voice came to his ears. "You, how did you get here?" Jian Wushuang heard the sound, raised his head and said indifferently, "Of course it came." And at this time, everyone below is also flying towards the blood cloud. Isn't this a normal thing? What's so surprising about this? He was a little curious in his heart. Maybe it was because he couldn't come in on his own initiative. Swish. A pair of dark eyes shot out in the blood cloud instantly, as if facing a great enemy, and shouted angrily, "Without my will, it is impossible for you to be here. Could it be that you are a world beast who came through disorder?" "The beast?" Jian Wushuang laughed when he heard it. "If I were a world beast, this place would be long gone." He has seen the power of Morosa, and he has also heard that the powerful world leader is comparable to the Protoss. If you can really enter this place, you will be able to destroy this world at your fingertips, and even the Realm King continent may be destroyed. Even the key world beasts don't look down on this place. Seeing his disdain, those eyes were filled with anger and shouted, "Do you know who my master is?" "I know, God of time and space." Jian Wushuang answered indifferently. It's nothing to him. It's not like he hasn't seen it. And the god of time and space he saw was still alive. Moreover, he has seen the star spirit, not to mention a dead space-time god. Ignorant practitioners, this is the great of space. If you dare to disobey the rules of the of space, you will be expelled. After talking for a long time, you really did it. Jian Wushuang sneered. If the other party could do anything to him, he would have done it already, so why bother talking nonsense here? It's just that there is no way to get him. Since he entrusted the control of mind power, this place is just an ordinary space to him. As for the of space, he didn't really believe it either. This is a disordered world, and it is also the Realm King continent. Even if it is the god of space, it is also the god of space in the Realm King continent. What is there to be afraid of? You bastard. Stop talking nonsense, give you a face, I'll go down by myself, or else. Jian Wushuang stared at the other side with his eyes slanted, and the other side was a little scared, unable to speak for a long time. If the other party dares to talk nonsense again, he doesn't mind directly snatching the treasure here. It is the treasure that Kai Wang God needs. It's just that he felt that even the Realm King had to abide by the rules, and he didn't need to take risks. It's not that he couldn't get that treasure. The practitioners here are really no match for him. At this time, all the practitioners gathered on the huge ring. As soon as his figure moved, he rushed down. At the same time, I also saw all the practitioners who entered this place. A glance. The brows furrowed. Kindness. That is. He couldn't believe his eyes, but he felt a familiar aura. Sweeping away the power of thought, I also found two mysterious powerhouses that I couldn't even see through myself. Interesting. Chapter 62:21. Returning to Wu Zhuo and the others, he moved in his heart and motioned everyone to see which strong man he had discovered. Before Wu Zhuo and the others had time to ask what happened just now, they were aroused by the familiar aura he said and looked up together. Why is he still alive? King Shenmu, Bru, and Wu Li did not know that person. But Wu Zhuo and Hui Qing are very familiar with each other. Especially Wu Zhuo, he had suffered a big loss at the hands of this person. Nearly killed. Hui Qing is the same. In the single battle, no one was his opponent. Not even him and Hui Qing. Brole. Wu Zhuo shouted directly. After hearing the name, the other three people were stunned for a moment, and their faces were blank. They did not know this madman who had given Jian Wushuang and others a heavy blow. Who is he? Wu Li asked in surprise. When did you meet this person in the Realm King continent? Shenmu Wang's eyes were also very curious, and he felt the breath of the other party with a thought, and said indifferently, the strength is not strong, the one-star cosmic god, or the quasi-two-star cosmic god, is not as exaggerated as you say. Don't be deceived by his appearance, this guy is crazy, and his power is unstoppable. This is indeed a lunatic. Hui Qing also nodded heavily. See them all so nervous. Bruce said, but his divine power is only less than 200 million. If you want to see him go crazy, then you have to let Brother Wushuang take action. After Wu Zhuo finished speaking, he looked at Jian Wushuang. Don't worry too much, I'm just curious how this guy got here. Didn't he fall into the abyss at the beginning, and he was able to reach the Realm King continent? I'm afraid it was intentional. After taking 2 glances, Jian Wushuang's brows moved. Today's Broly looks like a different person, not that crazy, but looks a little honest, following behind a green-skinned girl, like a guard. There was an old man next to him, and a young man with arrogant eyes. The strength is much stronger than Broly, and he is already a quasi-Samsung universe god. On the contrary, the girl at the head is only the 2-star universe god. Speaking of which, Broly is the weakest practitioner. And he was disliked by the old man and the young man. Only green-skinned girls were polite to Broly. Jian Wushuang, who observed everything, withdrew his eyes. Turned to look to the other side. Those 2 mysterious people that he couldn't see through. They are all wearing black robes and there is no breath. Among them, the little man, suspended in midair, was extremely mysterious. He did not tell other people about this, so as not to cause everyone to be nervous. Kindness. When he looked at the other party intentionally or unintentionally, the little man who was floating in the air even glanced at him, and as if he could detect his eyes, he nodded at him. When he was suddenly discovered, he didn't panic and returned a kind look to the other party. But there was some pressure in my heart. I thought it was easy to win, but I didn't expect to encounter trouble. These 2 mysterious people gave him a lot of pressure. There is also a tricky Broly. Once discovered by the other party, I am afraid that he will become the madman he used to be. Thinking of this gave him a headache. Just after returning to the Realm King continent, these fears were brought out. It is better to stay in the realm of the king. On second thought, he left the realm of the Realm King and caused a lot of trouble. There is only a sorrowful cry in my heart. Let's take a step by step. At this time, in the sky, the blood cloud closed. Makes everyone look up. I saw a huge face appear in the clouds. I am here to keep the spirit, and you will enter the blood cloud space to seek opportunities, and you will definitely be the best in the world. As soon as the voice fell, the Optimus pillar on the ground began to sink. Until it reaches the ground, it is only 1 foot high. What does it mean? Because the rules are different every time, even some cosmic gods who have entered this place several times do not know what the spirits are playing. There are huge pillars in all directions. As long as you stand at the top, the pillar will rise by 1 stroke with each breath. If there are no practitioners on the pillar, each breath will fall by 1 stroke. When the pillar rises 10,000 feet, a light will automatically appear, isolate everything and win. After saying this, the audience was amazed. The meaning is obvious. Keep fighting. 10,000 feet is 10,000 breaths, about an hour or so. There are tens of thousands of universe gods here. There are only 8 pillars. That is, on average, you will be besieged by thousands of strong men. The difficulty is too great. How to do? Wu Zhuo turned his head and glanced at Hui Qing and Jian Wushuang. Although the strength of a few of them can be competed, they also need the assistance of others. But Hui Qing and Jian Wushuang don't need it. Otherwise, Hui Qing and Wushuang have 1 each. How many assistants do we have? Wu Li felt a little guilty, but he didn't dare to stand on the pillar. The feeling of being besieged by countless powerhouses is not pleasant. Jian Wushuang glanced at it, and he soon had a plan in his heart. Since everyone is here, let's go up and see the scenery from above. A bit reluctant? Wu Zhuo is also a little empty. His strength is not as good as that of Bru, and he will definitely be beaten down when he goes up. At this time, the giant pillars in all directions were empty, and no one dared to touch this brow for a while. Everyone knows that if you go up first, you will be besieged. Jian Wushuang saw the concerns of several people and said, "Don't worry, I will protect you with Hui Qing. First, let you occupy 4 pillars, and finally Hui Qing and I will occupy 1. Yeah." Wu Zhuo patted his head, and then he reacted. No one on the pillar will lower a battle, and someone will raise a battle. It is said to be 10,000 breaths, but this competition will never end within 10,000 breaths. Take notice. Wu Zhuo and Wu Li looked at each other. Then you're welcome. After speaking, they each flew to the nearest pillar. The 2 landed firmly on the top of the pillar. The ancient breath also shook. Kindness? Someone got on the pillar. Do it even if you can't get on the pillar yourself, you can't let them get on it. There are also several powerful universe gods, and seeing Wu Zhuo and Wu Li have both stepped on the giant pillar. Although I didn't expect it to be such a rule this time. However, most of the strong people who come here come together. Pick the strongest person to go up first, and the rest to protect the law. The battle started instantly. In the face of the powerful attack from everyone, Wu Li's legs were a little weak. He shouted loudly, "Brother Wushuang, come and protect me." It's not that he doesn't believe in Hui Qing, but that Jian Wushuang is stronger. Just as Wu Li shouted, a blood-colored light shield appeared around him. Boom! Countless attacks all hit the blood shield. Wu Li stared at the bursting air waves and gasped for breath. If he had just resisted, he would have been seriously injured in an instant. Chapter 62-22. Turning his head and looking at Jian Wushuang, he was already in front of him. "Stand still, no one can come near you." Jian Wushuang put his hands down and stood in front of Wu Li, looking at the many powerhouses below, raised his head and slid out. A dark red light directly divided the battlefield. The attack just now has surpassed the 6-star universe god. Directly stunned all the powerhouses who wanted to come forward and make trouble. So strong, he turned out to be a 6-star universe god. Change to the next one. Knowing that Jian Wushuang is a hard bone, he put it aside and went to besiege Wu Zhuo. Unfortunately, it hit the iron plate again. Hui Qing's shot was ruthless enough. He didn't have a shield to protect Wu Zhuo. He was worried that Woozwa would be killed in an instant, and the strongest combat power would explode directly. An ancient long stick swept the entire battlefield. A stick fell, and the fallen cosmic was dripping like rain. The melee began. Only Jian Wushuang and Hui Qing did not dare to offend a cosmic around them. All went to besiege the others. Broly, who was particularly concerned by Jian Wushuang, did not join in. Instead, she kept following the green-skinned alien girl, standing on the outermost periphery. Her eyes were empty, and she couldn't see anything special. But Jian Wushuang knew that when this guy went crazy, he was a fighting monster. In addition to this one, there are two mysterious powerhouses who have drawn his attention. The two of them stood on the pillars, and although there was a siege around them, they were easily resolved. But the shot was not heavy, and there was always someone interfering. The remaining 4 pillars are all 5-star cosmic gods, and there are dozens of 4-star cosmic gods around them. Some of them are not partners, but they have provided benefits in advance and invited many 4-star cosmic guardians. The weak cosmic gods also know that this time, there is no way to reap the benefits, and they can only rely on those powerful cosmic gods, otherwise it will be in vain. The Lord of the Universe, although weak, has also reversed in this battle. Not to participate in the war, but to stand on a pillar, and with every breath, the pillar can rise 100 feet. That is to say, 100 breaths can reach 10,000 feet. Those who have a heart, take advantage of this. Let the Lord of the Universe stand up, and stand up on their own when they reach 9,000 feet. With this, the battle is accelerated. It's still possible. Woozwa stared at the tallest pillar in surprise, his mouth widened. At this time, their pillars were only 1,000 feet tall. After Jian Wushuang saw it through, he turned to look at Wu Li and said, "It's my turn." "What? You go up, what should I do? I can't protect you." Wu Li was taken aback and was a little overwhelmed. "Just stand aside and watch." After Jian Wushuang stepped on the pillar, he took a breath and the pillar suddenly soared 100 feet. This scene shocked everyone. I didn't expect Jian Wushuang to be the master of the universe. He is so powerful, yet he is a master of the universe. The universe god standing on the pillar looked over and exclaimed, "How did he do it? He can't be the Lord of the Universe. His divine power has at least reached the 6-star cosmos god. How can he be the Lord of the Universe? There must be something wrong. Where's the watchman? Come out and explain it." On the 2 pillars on the edge, 2 powerful mysterious people also looked at Jian Wushuang. "He's really out of order. The Lord of the Universe, it seems that he has broken the shackles of the rules. Once the calamity is successful, I am afraid that he will be the of time and space." Broly also saw this scene. His empty eyes stared at Jian Wushuang, and his chest jumped suddenly. Fighting intent also came to mind. Jian Wushuang. Hearing Broly speak, the green-skinned girl was surprised. "Big man, you can speak? Tasha, what is this big fool talking about?" The arrogant young man frowned. He always thought Broly was a fool, and he didn't expect to speak. Although Broly is a powerful of the universe, after he arrived in the Realm King continent, he didn't know what to say, and his eyes were empty, like a piece of wood. But he was very fond of the green-skinned alien girl, and it was the other party who woke him up, so he followed the other party all the time. After seeing Jian Wushuang at this moment, some fragmented memories awakened in his mind. "Hey big man, what's your name?" Hearing the girl's call, Broly, who was still up and down just now, suddenly became quiet again. The gnawing Baba replied, "Broly. Broly is a weird name, but it's sweet." This sentence made the face of the arrogant young man beside him sank, and he snorted coldly, "Tasha, he is just a slave, a fool. Why so much nonsense? The top priority is to occupy a pillar. How can we grab the pillar with our little combat power, or can you give me a solution?" The alien girl looked at the arrogant young man with disgust in her eyes. She liked a fool and didn't want to look at the other party, and she couldn't speak when she saw the other party. Curled his lips and said, "Old man, or you join some teams with Tuashan, lest this time come in vain. Broly and I will not go to this muddy water." The old man was the elder of their tribe, and the arrogant young man named Tushan was a quasi-senior and a direct disciple of the old man. Miss, the leader's mission this time is to make you famous. If you don't participate in the war, I'm afraid it will be difficult to gain the reputation of our ancient gods. Tasha took a deep breath, frowned and replied, but my father won't let me risk my fall to join the battle. Just when there was a stalemate, Broly finally said a complete sentence. Grab the pillar, it'll protect you. He looked firmly at Tasha, who was half his size. You. After Tuashan heard it, he sneered. You also want to participate in the war and protect Tasha, and don't look at your divine power, you are cannon fodder when you go, who do you think you are? After speaking, he couldn't help laughing sarcastically. Among the 8 pillars of Blood Cloud, there are super beings that can sweep everything, and the rest are also 5-star cosmic gods, and there are a large number of 4-star cosmic gods beside them. Broly, a quasi 2-star, what can he do? Facing the sarcasm, Broly didn't retort, but there was firmness in his empty eyes. After the elder heard about it, he was overjoyed. He knew that his young lady had a good impression of Broly, and he wanted to make a name for the ancient god realm in this battle, so he said, Miss, Broly said that's right, I can also protect Mississippi. No matter what the old man says, the peak combat power can reach the 5-star cosmic god. If the young lady is willing to come out with those treasures, she can recruit a group of 4-star cosmic gods guardians. As long as you take down a pillar, this time the ancient gods will definitely be in the realm again. The mainland stands up and even restores its former glory. Chapter 62-23. No. Tasha shook his head firmly. It's too dangerous. It will kill a lot of people. Dead. If other strong people heard it, they would definitely burst into laughter. He has become a cosmic god, and he still cares whether he dies or not. It's just childish at home. But the old man was used to this and said bitterly, Miss, don't forget, if you promised the leader when you came out, if you can't do it, the old man can only bring the young lady back to the realm of the gods, and then he will not be able to come out again. The meaning of the words is obvious. This is to threaten her. Tasha was a little uncertain, glanced at the old man, and there was hesitation in his eyes. After seeing her thoughts, Tuashan next to him said, Tasha, you can rest assured, I also have a quasi-5-star combat power, enough to protect you, we just need to pick a weak pillar, then you don't need to do anything, stand on the pillar. As for the treasure spent, it is nothing at all, our god realm is not short of treasures, what is lacking is the opportunity to stand on the realm king continent again. But Tasha was still a little worried. When the elder saw this, he hit the railway while it was hot. Miss Tasha, don't forget, those once noble ascended warriors, for the sacrifice of the tribe, are you willing to let the tribe of God's domain bury in the tomb of the realm king continent? It's time for us to stand up. As long as we play a role in this war and make a name for ourselves, we can once again shine on the entire continent. Bright God's domain? Although Tasha was simple, he also heard something wrong and said in a low voice, Is there something you are hiding from me, elder, Tuashan? The two looked at each other and felt that there was no need to hide it, so they told the truth. Speaking of which, the ancient god realm was once famous in the realm king continent, and many super beings were born. It is a pity that when a world beast attacked, those strong men fell, and the entire ancient gods were also eroded by the world beasts. After the blackening, the powerhouses of the divine realm have become even more powerful. Help the world beast to break the world king continent. However, he was soon suppressed by the 7th generation Kaiwang god. It has been suppressed until today, only then has it loosened. Allow some people from the ancient gods to come out and enter the realm of kings to walk around. However, it is not so simple to want the ancient gods to shine again. Now there is an opportunity in front of them. Compete for the chance here and get the super source. You will be able to obtain the forgiveness of the king god. The elders knew this news for a long time, but the leader's will was not firm, and he wanted to be isolated from the world all the time. But the old man and his disciple Tuashan didn't want to live like that anymore. They were once the most noble ancient gods in the realm king continent. How can I be reconciled now that I have been placed on the pillar of shame? So come here. Not only to show his face, but more importantly to help Kaiwang God. Although they don't even know where the Realm King is, they have to make a name for themselves first, or have their own value, before they can get in touch with the Realm King. After learning all this, Tasha's eyes flashed and he clenched his fists. When he looked up, his eyes were firm. For God's domain. She chanted silently, and Toshan and the elders beside her also nodded silently. Only Broly stood there stupidly, staring at Tasha. Now as long as the other party nods, he will explode. Elder, shall we go and get a pillar of God? Tasha turned his head and glanced at the Bafeng divine pillar. 2 of them have been abandoned by everyone. It is the 2 pillars of Jian Wushuang and Hui Qing who protect the law. Among them, the divine pillar exclusively owned by Jian Wushuang has reached 8,000 feet. It is the fastest divine pillar. Originally, one divine pillar reached 9,000 feet, but was shot down by Hui Qing. Now it has fallen back 1,000 feet. Hearing the words, the elder was about to speak when he was interrupted by Broly next to him. She frowned, a little unhappy, because the lady had a good impression of the other party. She didn't say anything, but looked over. Broly raised his head, raised his finger in the direction of Jian Wushuang, and said, "Grab this one." The old man's face darkened instantly when he heard that. "Sure enough, you are a fool. Didn't you see that the existence of the universe with more than 6 stars? To that divine pillar, at least hundreds of elders, or the ancient gods of all dynasties will have hope. Do you think that you are who is it?" Toshan couldn't help sneering. This time, even Tasha shook his head in despair and comforted, "Broly, our strength is limited. To avoid that existence, we can't take risks." Broly seemed to be obedient to Tasha's words, but he didn't refute, but nodded heavily. A little bit suppressed the fighting intent against Jian Wushuang in the bottom of my heart. The elder no longer paid any attention to Broly, but looked at Tasha. "Miss, I have already contacted a quasi-5-star cosmic god. He is currently besieging the 7th divine pillar, which is the weakest. We only need to take out enough ancient divine stones, and they will be willing to help us occupy that divine pillar and return it. 34-star universe gods will assist." He had already connected everything in secret. After confirming, he directly contacted the quasi-5-star universe god. The cosmic on the 7th divine pillar also seemed to have noticed something was wrong. Just as he was about to call for help, he found that several cosmic gods were besieging him. Among them, there is a powerful god realm veteran, whose divine power is extremely terrifying. He is already the pinnacle powerhouse among the 5-star cosmic gods. He punched the 5-star cosmic on the pillar with one punch. The 7th divine pillar also changed hands again. This kind of thing has become commonplace. Every time the pillar rises, the battle becomes extraordinarily fierce. Tasha couldn't bear it in his eyes, but he still fell on the pillar, and with a wave of his hands, a white light shield fell to his side. "Broly, you come to me, it's too dangerous outside." This is the life-saving treasure that her father gave her. It can block the full blow of the 6-star cosmic god. The 5-star cosmic needs a lot of effort to break through. In addition, the guardian of the gods, and the dozens of universe gods who have been bribed around. He and the pillar are actually very stable. No need for Broly. Besides, Broly is not strong in her eyes. It's just a quasi-2-star cosmic god. It doesn't work at all, and if you go, you will die in vain. Broly turned his head and glanced at Jian Wushuang's position, then nodded heavily. When he walked to Tasha, he was burly like a tower of gods. Although belligerent, it is also necessary to divide people. He didn't even bother to look at the universe gods in front of him. Naturally not ready to shoot. Seeing this, Tuashan glanced at Broly with great contempt. "I just said I wanted to protect Tasha, but now I hide behind the woman. I underestimated you." I thought Broly was a fool, but he was quite smart. If you rashly fight, a 2-star cosmic will soon fall. Hiding behind is indeed a good choice. Chapter 62-24. Just when the 7th divine pillar changed hands, the first divine pillar on Jian Wushuang's side had reached 9,900 feet. It is the tallest pillar of God. Wu Li, come up. Jian Wushuang stepped down directly from the pillar. Well, Wu Li had been standing awkwardly behind Jian Wushuang, and when he heard the call to himself, he immediately regained his energy and hurriedly stepped onto the pillar. It's still 100 feet away, so I will trouble Brother Wushuang to protect me for a while longer. Don't worry, you will be the first. After Jian Wushuang stepped down from the divine pillar, he raised his eyebrows and looked at the seventh divine pillar. He could also feel that Broly also seemed to be paying attention to him, and the two looked at each other, which aroused a strong desire to fight in the body. Call. Taking a deep breath, he did not stay on the first pillar for a long time, but arrived at the second pillar. Although the pillars were far apart, it was only a blink of an eye to him. Huiqing, you go to the first pillar of God, let me come here. Huiqing didn't hesitate and went directly to Wu Li's side. Wu Zhuo also understood very well, so he stepped down from the pillar and let Jian Wushuang go up. This will save a lot of time. Looks like you don't need me very much. Hearing the sound, Jian Wushuang turned his head to look at Bruce indifferently, and said, Why, your hands are itchy? A little. Bruce nodded. From the beginning to the end, he and Shenmue King sat cross-legged in the void, and it was Huiqing who blocked the siege of the universe gods. The key point is that this siege didn't last long before it dissipated. Let him, the super powerhouse who merged with the body of the true God, feel lonely. In this way, I will show you a clear path. On the seventh pillar, there are the most powerful people under siege, so you can sneak in and take the opportunity to kick that alien girl away. I see that the only strong person beside her is the blue-scaled old man. The 5-star universe god is not your opponent at all. Oh! Hearing that, Bruce also looked up at the seventh divine pillar, which was a little distance from here, but he could see the situation over there. As Jian Wushuang said, it is indeed the weakest of these pillars. But he didn't know that it was a pit. Don't know Broly. Don't worry, the pillars here will be 10,000 feet long, and I will help you later. There was a wicked smile in Jian Wu's eyes. I want to take the opportunity to test Broly's current strength. The 2-star universe on the surface does not pose much of a threat to Bru. Wu Zhuo, who was next to him, also saw what he was thinking and said to the side, Brother Bruce, when you fought with Lan Yen, you were extremely powerful, and now I am afraid you must have the combat power of the 6-star cosmic god. The 7th divine pillar, there shouldn't be much of a problem, let's take the opportunity to show us a hand. Bruce has also been imprinted for many years, and there has been no real battle. He moved his shoulders, licked the corner of his mouth, and said with a fighting spirit, It's been a while since I haven't moved my muscles and bones, then I'll go meet those universe gods, and see how much I can do. After he finished speaking, he went straight away. The divine power suddenly increased to the quasi-6-star cosmic god, and the terrifying suppression force caused the surrounding cosmic gods to avoid them one after another. No, this guy is in the same group as the first god pillar and the second god pillar. Many cosmic gods looked over. Be very careful with Bruce. Don't you think it's too greedy? The elders of the divine realm also came out when they saw that Blue was directed at the 7th divine pillar. His eyes were gloomy, and there was fear in his heart. The divine power that Bruce just released has already reached the quasi-6-star level. Before the battle, the divine power is so powerful. By no means small characters. It is likely to be a 6-star universe god. And he is only quasi-6 stars. The gap between them is too big. What's more, Blue is still with the 2 super existences. He naturally has to be careful, and one is likely to fall if he is not careful. Blue fell in the middle of the crowd, raised his hand with a chi slash and directly knocked back the universe gods who were besieging the pillar of the 7th god. I don't want to bully others, but I want this from the Shinju. The person who guards the pillar can fight with me. If I lose, I will retire. His words were arrogant, but no one dared to question it. The complexion of the god's domain elder was a little embarrassed. Among the strong guards who guarded the pillars, other than him, none of them had the guts to fight against Bruce. And those people were bought by him with money. He wouldn't be desperate at all, let alone with a quasi-6-star, or even a 6-star cosmic god. The 4-star cosmic can't stop it, and the quasi-5-star can only watch from the outside. When Tashan saw Bruce appearing, his eyes were a little depressed. He whispered, "Master, what should I do now? You take the rest to protect Miss Tasha, and leave the rest to me." The elder of the gods seemed to have made a heavy decision. He clenched his hands tightly and shattered the robe directly, revealing the complete blue-scale battle armor. When facing Bruce, he said in a serious tone, "Since your excellency insists, let the old man fight against your excellency. This battle has nothing to do with other people." "Okay," Blue said indifferently, "as long as you can block me for a quarter of an hour, you will win." As soon as the voice fell, he shot directly. The powerful divine power aroused the surrounding time and space, sending out waves of waves. Bruce's green arms spread directly, rushing towards the elder of the gods. In the face of this powerful means, the elders of the divine realm did not panic, crossed his hands and directly caught Bruce's arms in his arms, and suddenly forced Bruce's arms directly. The powerful divine power also manifested at this moment. From the quasi-six-star cosmic god, the divine power directly hit 600 million. The terrifying combat power made everyone gasp. The onlookers were stunned, knowing that no matter who wins this time, they won't be able to take down this divine pillar, and they started to retreat one after another. However, there were 3 people staring at them with hot eyes. The 3 looked different, but there was a strange symbol between their eyebrows. Obviously from one side. And the strength is not weak, with a quasi-5-star combat power. Jia, the quasi-6-star cosmic god, comparable to the average 6-star cosmic god, the powerhouse at this stage is just right for us. The head of the one has a thin face and an evil aura in his eyes. The 2 next to them also nodded their heads, revealing greedy eyes. Wait, they still have hidden powers, don't worry. The battle between Bruce and the elders of God's domain has reached a fever pitch. Bruce, who broke a pen, did not recover directly, but fought with one arm, but can press the opponent to fight. The divine power directly broke through 600 million and became a genuine 6-star cosmic god. Over the years, his divine power has indeed improved a lot. At the beginning, he only initially merged with the divine body of Danbao, and he was able to become a 4-star cosmic god. After the complete fusion, his divine power has directly reached the quasi-6-star level, and with the years of practice, he has reached the level of the 6-star cosmic god. Chapter 62-25. Haha, what a joy! Blue was bombarded by the opponent on the edge of the stone pillar, and he did not take the opportunity to attack Tasha, but stood up leisurely and tore off the broken white skin on his body. The sturdy upper body leaked out, and the green muscle lines were extremely obvious. What? He roared angrily, recovered his broken left arm, moved slightly, and said indifferently, "The warm-up is over, now you can really start." What? The elder of the gods was a little dumbfounded. He had just used 120% of his combat power and barely drew a draw. Didn't expect this to just start. Before he could react, Bruce came behind him, kicked him in the back, and fell directly from the void. On the way to the rapid fall, just as he was about to stabilize his figure, another heavy blow landed on his head. Boom! This heavy blow made him unconscious and turned the world around. With one hand held by Bruce, a vapor wave condensed in his hand and blasted out at the falling god domain elders. Boom! Countless air waves burst out from his hands. The time and space of the fight vibrated. If you don't admit defeat, you will only fall. Bruce reminded, and began to condense a larger air wave with his hands. This scene reminded Broly on the pillar of Jian Wushuang at the beginning. Eyes suddenly began to burst. Tasha, who was originally staring at the battle, also found something wrong with Broly and said in surprise, "Broly, what's wrong with you?" She thought it was Broly who was afraid and quickly comforted, "Don't worry, you'll be fine. If it's a big deal, let go of this pillar." Tuashan, who found that something was wrong in the distance, also flew to the pillar, worried about Tasha's comfort. This time it's over. The master is not an opponent. We can only give up the divine pillar. If I knew earlier, I had my senior brother come here. With his strength, he shouldn't be weak on that guy. Tasha shook his head and said silently, No one can easily win the divine pillar except the ancient god. Don't forget that he has accomplices. Eternal God. That is a title obtained by the superpowers of the ancient gods in all dynasties. From ancient times to the present, there are only a few superpowers who have won the title in the ancient gods. Tasha's father was an ancient god. Only this kind of super existence can dominate a party here, just like Jian Wushuang and Hui Qing. Unfortunately, this time came in a hurry. Tasha himself didn't think much of it. It was only at this moment that Tuashan thought that Bruce was with Jian Wushuang and others. Turning to look at the pillar of the first god, he has completely obtained the blood cloud shield and is the first to meet the requirements. Then came the second divine pillar, which also reached 9,000 feet. Immediate success. Now come to the seventh god pillar. There are 6 people in the group, 2 of them are absolute super strong. There is also a real 6-star cosmic who is fighting with the elders. The remaining 3 are nothing to worry about, but they can all obtain the divine pillar. They really have no chance. The proud Camel Mountain also lowered his head. Tasha's thin lips parted lightly, wanting to admit defeat for the elders. There was a light tap on the shoulder. Turning around, it was naturally Broly. "Let me." Broly's words were brief. He took a slight step and walked in front of Tasha. In such a situation, we must take action. Although Tuashan wanted to ridicule the other party, he couldn't help but side the other party's loyalty and reluctantly reassured him, "Forget it, your strength is not enough, far from enough. Wait for me." Broly finished and jumped off the pillar. Tasha yelled anxiously, "Broly! This big fool!" Tuashan took a deep breath. Loyalty indeed, but unfortunately it doesn't look at the situation. In this kind of battle, a 2-star cosmic can participate in the battle. The 2 looked at the battle below at the same time. Broly falling below was also seen. Without any hesitation, Tasha shouted directly, "Senior, we admit defeat and are willing to give up the divine pillar." No! The elder of the divine realm was seriously injured, but he still did not want to give up. This is a battle to make them return to the glory of the ancient gods. Even if he ships it, he can't admit defeat. If they die in battle, they might be able to show the realm gods and give them a chance to stand up again in the ancient gods. If you give up easily, everything will be broken. At this time, he hadn't found Broly who had appeared. Instead, he turned his head to look at Bruce and said firmly, "In this battle, the old man can die in the hands of your excellency, but I ask you to put a horse on the pillar, and the people above will not threaten your excellency." "Why?" Bruce shook his head slightly. For a while my heart softened. He wasn't like this at first, but after integrating Dan Bao's life divine body, he had a heart of compassion for all beings, and some couldn't bear it. I thought about sealing it first and then going to take down the divine pillar. But before he could take action, a terrifying figure came quietly behind him. Standing opposite Broly, the elder of the divine realm looked carefully, and his eyes narrowed slightly after discovering that it was Broly. Just as he was about to speak, he found that Broly had undergone tremendous changes at this time, especially divine changes. This scene also caught the onlookers. Another 5-star universe god. Unfortunately, in the face of the 6-star universe god, it has no effect. Bruce thought the same way, turned his head suddenly, and punched Broly's chest fiercely, directly knocking back hundreds of millions of miles. This blow is enough to seriously injure the 5-star cosmic god. Tasha on the pillar was particularly worried. Camel Mountain was shocked that Broly had hidden his divine power. Pretending to be a 2-star cosmic by their side for so long, they did not expect to be a 5-star cosmic god. However, the current situation has not changed in any way. But as soon as he thought so, he was slapped in the face. Broly stopped the silhouette flying upside down, and then charged towards Bruce again. And this time his divine power has skyrocketed again, reaching the peak of the 5-star universe god. How did he do it? Hushin's eyes narrowed, staring at Broly below in disbelief. The same goes for Tasha, who didn't expect Broly to be so powerful. It is good. Only the elders of the divine realm were delighted and took the initiative to attack Bruce with Broly. The battle also became anxious again. Bruce then stopped the Elders of God's domain, and then took a closer look at Broly. He didn't know if he didn't see it, but he was really startled when he saw it. Life is changing? After he integrated Danbao's life body, he could see the practitioner's life body at a glance. For example, the body of life of the Elders of the Gods is a special life that is rarely found in the ancient gods on the Realm King continent. This kind of life is not unique, but a life that belongs to Kaiwang continent. To be precise, it is a being that cannot cultivate in time and space. Only practice in the Realm King continent. And Broly is different. His divine body is changed according to the opponent. Chapter 62-26. Genius to remember the address of this site in 1 second. https:// the fastest update. No ads. Strong is strong. It was only a short burst, and it had already reached the level of a quasi-6-star cosmic god. Bruton felt a pressure hit. Turning around and punching, the divine power broke out completely, and the fist shadow suddenly hit the chest of the god domain elder like a streamer. Click. A sound of the shattering of the divine body came, and the divine body of the elder of the gods was directly shattered. The blood spurted out, dyeing the void red. If it comes again, I am afraid that it will perish. Seeing this, Broly still retained consciousness and shouted, "Go away!" He wants to fight Bruce alone. Don't admit defeat yet? Bruce didn't know how capable Broly was, thinking that if he seriously injured the Elders of the Divine Realm, he would be able to let the other party retreat. Unexpectedly, Broly had a high fighting spirit and rushed towards him again. The divine power also continued to climb and quickly broke through 600 million. Humph! Bruce snorted coldly, gathered his strength again, and slammed his fists out, like two dragons sweeping the sky, shattering everything and charging forward. These two punches are enough to kill the quasi-6-star cosmic god. Apparently it was a killer. At this time, Broly had just stood firm on the 6-star universe god, and even if he didn't die, he would be seriously injured. But he didn't dodge at all, just hit it hard. He opened his hands, grabbed the necks of the two flood dragons, squeezed hard, and instantly broke Bruce's ultimate move. What? Bruce's face sank. He didn't expect Broly to be so powerful, so he broke his ultimate move and completely ignored his attack methods. The defense is amazing. The power is comparable to the 6-star universe god, and the key is to continue to grow. He panicked instantly. The figure suddenly rose up, and the divine power on his body also crackled. Dodging the impact of Broly, his eyes sank, and he began to gather the strongest secret method. Magic Flash Tribulation. Bruce shouted angrily, and the surrounding time and space began to condense into a ball, constantly breeding magic. The terrifying force of life also swept in. All the beings present felt that their breathing became short of breath. Even Jian Wushuang and Hui Qing could clearly feel the attraction. But there is no threat to the two of them, at most they are a little uncomfortable. Jian Wushuang looked at all of this, and was a little surprised, not because Broly had become stronger again, but because of his growth over the years. Since the integration of Danbao's life divine body, the potential is definitely the top 3 in the northern time and space. He was only weaker than Hui Qing. Brother Wuzhua, it's your turn. He got up and left the pillar directly. Still reached 1,000 feet. Wu Li was the first to reach 10,000 feet, and now the second pillar of God has also successfully reached the top. The third divine pillar is guarded by a quasi-6-star cosmic god, as well as a number of 5-star cosmic gods protecting the law. Has reached more than 9,000 feet. It's a pity that Hui Qing and Shenmu Wang picked peaches. Right now he, Hui Qing, and Blue are the only ones left to be idle. It's time to meet Broly. It's almost time for him to come up with the strongest secret technique. Hui Qing also took shelter. The two just nodded and flew towards the 7th pillar. But just as they flew away, Blue's stunt has come out. A swirling wave of light struck down from the sky, pointing directly at Broly. What? Broly's hands were hard to resist, and the divine body was shaking. The rising divine power actually began to decline. The tough resistance made him keep retreating. At this moment, the three evil powerhouses who had been staring at this battle suddenly erupted. Ready for action. Swish. Almost only momentarily. The speed of the three of them reached an unpredictable height. Even Jian Wushuang and Hui Qing in the distance didn't react. I saw three black figures and rushed to Broly's side. Two of them supported Broly, and one of them took out a treasure that surprised Jian Wushuang. Magic pot. After seeing the mark of the top score, Jian Wu's eyes shrank, and his speed increased to the strongest at this moment, and he wanted to go and stop the three. But as soon as he set off, he was trapped by a powerful restraint force. Kindness. That invisible force of restraint seemed to come from the supreme rules of the Realm King continent. Who is it? His brows were wrinkled, the thought power of the blood cloud was suppressed, and he was unable to control him, but now he was trapped. Hui Qing also found something strange and wanted to come forward to help, but was also stopped. Neither could move. Can only watch Broly being absorbed by the magic pot. This time is definitely enough, let's go. The strong bald man at the head laughed loudly, took the magic pot and kicked Broly away from the sky. Blue, who was in the sky, stared at the bottom in surprise, at a loss. Broly, who was still desperately resisting just now, was attacked by three 5-star universe gods, and he instantly broke the defense and lost the slightest combat power. He was a little confused himself, thinking that the three cosmic gods were helping him, and for a while stood in the sky at a loss. Seeing that the three were about to escape, Jian Wushuang quickly reminded, "Blue, stop the three of them." "Okay." Blue heard the words without hesitation, and wanted to stop the three of them. But as soon as he started, he was dodged by the three of them. "Big man, you'd better not make yourself uncomfortable." The bald-headed powerhouse headed by, took out a gray token, crushed it, and said disdainfully, "Now you bugs, you can continue to fight for those garbage." The voice fell, a space-time channel was opened, and the three people entered the channel in a flash. Jian Wushuang couldn't take it any longer, and his divine power suddenly increased. Super Eternal Change, boom. The divine power has been directly upgraded to the top of the 6-star. But that's not enough. A dark red force with an arc rose up. The ultimate eternal change. He roared, and his divine power directly broke 8 stars. The beast soldier also appeared behind. Just broke free in an instant. This scene made the two mysterious black-robed powerhouses on the 5th and 6th pillars look shocked. He actually has 8-star combat power. The 8-star universe god, that is already the super powerhouse of the entire Realm King continent. Like the Realm Kings of the 4 worlds, the strongest is no more than 6 stars. The Northern Realm King does not count, because there is no divine body. If there is a divine body, it can also reach the 5-star or even 6-star cosmic god. As for the Great Realm King, his combat power has reached the level of the 7-star universe god. But these are true gods. You can advance to the existence of space-time gods. Has unlimited potential. But now Jian Wushuang, a cultivator who came out of the northern time and space, actually has divine power that surpasses that of the Great Realm King. How can you not surprise them both? I can't stop him. The tall black-robed strong man on the 6th god's pillar exclaimed and could only let go. This scene also made Jian Wushuang aware, turned his head and glanced at the two of them coldly. Immediately rushed to the space-time channel. The magic pot appeared in the real world, which had to make him alert. Because this treasure is used to deal with world beasts, where is there a world beast in the Realm King continent? Chapter 6227. Genius to remember the address of this site in 1 second. https:// the fastest update. No ads. But before he reached the entrance of the space-time passage, he was stopped by 2 figures. Jian Wushuang, your mission has been completed. Jian Wushuang was taken aback by the non-committal tone. At the same time, there are speculations. At this time, Wu Zue and others also followed. What do you mean? Jian Wushuang frowned, wanting to ask for evidence. But there was an insurmountable force that seemed to bind him. This also proves that this matter needs to be detached from the house and does not need him to intervene. The figure in black robe said indifferently, "It's very simple, Wu's promise has been fulfilled, and you don't need to worry about the rest." Could it be that you are? Wu's face became solemn, thinking of the promise he had promised earlier, otherwise he would not come here. The black robe figure just nodded and did not answer directly. After glancing at Jian Wushuang thoughtfully, he flashed into the space-time channel. Everyone present was shocked by this sudden scene. Tasha and the elders also took the opportunity to take the injured Broly away from the passage of time and space. Knowing that there is no benefit to staying, he can only escape first. Jian Wushuang didn't care about it at all. In the bottom of my heart, I was wondering the purpose of the two figures in black robes, but I thought about it. Since it has nothing to do with me, it would be better, even if there is a crisis of the beast, it has nothing to do with him. He is just a practitioner. After seeing everything in the world of consciousness, I know the ultimate mystery of the starry sky. Not so much curiosity. Sometimes trying to let go is the greatest kindness to yourself. Okay, let's stop standing. Now that we've fulfilled our promise, it's time to leave or stay. You decide. Jian Wushuang let go a lot at this moment, feeling that the world god continent is so big that he has not yet ventured through it well, and there is no need to fall into those so-called conspiracies. Coupled with his current strength, no one dares to count the time and space of the north anymore, so he can just let go. Wu Zhuo and others also breathed a sigh of relief. Although Hui Qing and Jian Wushuang were two super powerful people, they were still under pressure from the original promise. Decided to stay and roam. But Jian Wushuang didn't feel that way. He doesn't see the opportunity here, even if he gets it, it's useless. After seeing everyone's intention to stay, he did not leave immediately, but protected Wu Zhuo and others to stand on the pillar, but he did not go up. Everyone, it's time to part. Jian Wushuang took a deep breath and spoke his thoughts. He is not yet the god of the universe, because he is taking a brand new path, which is different from ordinary practitioners. The opportunities required are also different. Everyone was speechless for a while, and finally Wu's was said, "Actually, I noticed it after you recovered. You have seen it over the years, and the strength of the few of us has gradually been unable to keep up with the changes in you and Hui Qing. It is indeed time to part." "I'm not leaving," Hui Qing said with a rare smile. "I've already penetrated my own future, I understand my destination, and it is useless to work hard. Maybe I will live with you for a long time." Such an optimistic Hui Qing made Jian Wushuang very gratified, patted the other party's shoulder and said, "This is good, at least it won't be so tired. I'm different, I don't know how to get through my calamity, maybe the next time we'll be running here." "Tired? You can come back anytime." Wu Li and Shenmu Wang also watched together. After saying goodbye to everyone, Jian Wushuang made a casual stroke, forcibly breaking a space-time channel, and after taking one last look at everyone, he left in a hurry. When leaving, the consciousness in the blood cloud let out a sigh of relief. Others only know that Jian Wushuang's true combat power is the 8-star universe god, but no one knows that Jian Wushuang's consciousness can block everything, which has exceeded the consciousness of blood cloud. If you want, you can make new rules here. The northwest frontier of the world god continent. This is the place where all races gather, and it is also the place where practitioners of the 4 major time and space are discouraged. Because the creatures here came from before the world god continent was broken. Their ancestors are buried here. Speaking of which, the world god continent has the star territory of the gods, as well as the tombs of the gods. And the wild ancient area in the northwest is the core of the cemetery of the gods. There are countless powerhouses buried here. There are many of them with the same strength as Jian Wushuang. Even the cemetery of the 9 stars cosmic god has it. The entire wild ancient region is much larger than the 1000-gate star region. It accounts for about 1/10 of the entire northwest continent. And the number of strong people is more than half of the northwest continent. Needless to say, the reason is because of the tomb of the gods here. Jian Wushuang walked in the void, his figure shrunk to that of the Lord of the Universe, and no one noticed him. Because the Lord of the Universe is all too common here. No one cares who passes by here. But Jian Wushuang kept staring at the continent below. Bless the tomb of fire. On a majestic mountain below, there is a dazzling tombstone, which is said to be dazzling, but it is not a white light, but a flash of black light. The writing above is extremely ancient, revealing an indelible breath. The fall of the strong will definitely nourish one side. The nearby cosmic gods even carry this breath. They should be the descendants of this cosmic god. He thought to the bottom of his heart. The deity did not move, and a ray of thought power fell below. Under the mountain, there are several large cities. These strong men in the city are all aliens to him. Behind them are a pair of retractable wings, whether it is the Lord of the Universe or the God of the Universe. Jian Wushuang's thought power turned into a clone, only retaining the realm of the Lord of the Universe, and his breath was very thin, and others would only think that he was an alien Lord of the Universe. Walking into the small city that is relatively close to the mountain, not many people paid attention, and they were all busy with their own affairs. In the seemingly mundane city, it is a super city that accommodates hundreds of thousands of universe masters. There are dozens of gods in the universe alone. This is just a city. Before entering the Northwest continent, he only had a rough understanding of the situation here, and only knew that there was a wild ancient domain that was the core. The rest are unknown. This time when the Fozhen comes down, it is to feel the situation. Anyway, the time is almost infinite, he can explore slowly. Just on the way here, he spent millions of epochs, stopping and stopping along the way, and also obtained some strange treasures, but unfortunately it didn't help him in any way. It can be said that he is unable to seize the opportunity to seek divine calamity now, and he can only take one step at a time. Walking to the center of the city, just as he stopped, a well-dressed young man came up. Chapter 6228. Genius to remember the address of this site in 1 second. https:// the fastest update. No ads. This senior, but from other places? The young man has wings behind his back, looks very handsome, and behaves politely, which makes people very comfortable. Jian Wushuang said in surprise, "How do you know? There are still a lot of human races here, and the other party can see that he is a foreign powerhouse at a glance. It's very simple, the senior doesn't have the aura of the ancient wilderness, nor the aura of the god of fire, so the junior guesses that the senior is from another place." Oh! Jian Wushuang was suddenly interested. If you talk about this breath, he has really studied it. I didn't find how strange it was. I didn't expect the strong people here to pay attention to this. If the senior doesn't have a place to stay, it's better to come to my Xiong family to rest first. The Xiong family is still somewhat powerful in Julu City. No matter why the senior came here, I can help. When the young man talked about his family, he was beaming with pride. That's annoying. Jian Wushuang did not refuse, and immediately agreed. Following the young man all the way into the East City, there are deep courtyards with high walls all over the place, and they have an extraordinary bearing, and some super powerhouses live here. But for Jian Wushuang, it is much weaker. Even those cosmic gods did not pose any threat to him. That's why he agreed so happily. At the same time, it is also to understand some things in the wild ancient domain. The young man stopped in front of a grand courtyard, stretched out his hand and said, "Senior, please." Stepping into the Xiong mansion, there was a breath of aura that made Jian Wushuang's nose move. That smell is very familiar. I don't know how many years ago I had the honor to smell it. A fishy smell, blood color? Jian Wushuang frowned slightly. He hadn't smelled this smell outside the door, but when he entered the mansion, he immediately noticed it. Fellow Taoist Xiang Yang, the formation in your mansion is really amazing. He pretended to be flattering, wanting to take the opportunity to make a cliché. The Dharma body at this time is just an ordinary lord of the 9 tribulations realm universe, with a divine power of only 40 million. Not even a demigod. The same is true of mind power. After all, it is not the deity who is there in person. So he couldn't detect that smell across the yard. In fact, he could let the deity descend to investigate directly, but there was no need for that. When Xiang Yang, the young man who invited him, heard about his own formation, he said excitedly, "Senior really has a good eye. The formation here is arranged by a cosmic himself, and this cosmic is also a cosmic who studies formations, and he was once a disciple of the god of fire. This identity is really scary. I wish the god of fire, it has been fallen for I don't know how many years, because when the world god continent was broken, and the cosmic god fell 7088, now they are all rising stars. There is also the remaining universe god, which really surprised Jian Wushuang. After expressing admiration on the surface, he didn't ask any more questions. Xiang Yang instructed his servants to prepare a dinner party and prepare a reception. Jian Wushuang did not delay either. After visiting the front yard with the other party, he talked about some things near the tomb of the god of fire. As he walked, he listened and nodded frequently, showing a very surprised look. But that's actually the case. This place is backed by Huoshan Mountain, which is the tombstone of the god of fire. The god of fire is a 6-star cosmic before the world god continent was broken. No matter it is before the shattering or the new continent, the 6-star universe is a super powerhouse. But compared with Jian Wushuang, it is far worse. Now, let alone the 6-star cosmic god, even the 8-star cosmic doesn't care. Because his own strength has reached 8 stars. Senior Wushuang, although there are not many cities around Vulcan Mountain, there are many forces. The first is the Zhu family. Needless to say, this is the force that receives the greatest blessing from the god of Zhuhua. This Jian Wushuang is clear. When a cosmic falls, the first thing he will give back is the origin of the world continent, and then the place where he fell. Then there is the expansion of the power of blood. When you are promoted to the god of the universe, you can improve your family blood, and when you fall, you can give back to your family blood. Therefore, the first major force in Vulcan Mountain is the family of the god of fire. Finally, there are the ethnic groups that originally lived near this place. Before the world god continent was broken, this place was the territory of the Feather God clan. I wish the god of fire was born in the Vulcan clan, but married with the Feather God clan. So start in Huashanshan. After the fall, Fuse also gave back to the surrounding Feather God clan powerhouses. That young master Xiang Yang must be a descendant of the Feather God clan. Yes, most of the practitioners living in the Vulcan Mountain are descendants of the Feather God clan. Of course, because the Vulcan Mountain has been open to the outside world in recent years, it has also attracted many foreign powerhouses, such as Senior Wushuang. Xiang Yang's words are very interesting, and the last sentence is obviously what he wants to do with Jian Wushuang. The intentions of the foreign powerhouses to come are very simple, either because of the opportunity on the Vulcan Mountain, or because they ran to the ancient wilderness for refuge. But most of the refugees were the gods of the universe. Most of the strong people like Jian Wushuang who appear to be the masters of the universe want to go to Vulcan Mountain. Although Vulcan Mountain is open to the public, it is not anyone who wants to go there. Eligibility is required, and the qualifications are monopolized by the surrounding big families and forces. Going up the mountain with your own strength is simply too difficult. But for Jian Wushuang, there is no difficulty. The key is that he doesn't even look down on this Vulcan Mountain. The reason why the Dharma body came is just to explore the ancient wilderness. He didn't hold back about Xiang Yang's temptation and directly stated his thoughts. It's the first time I entered the ancient wilderness and I didn't know anything. I wanted to know more and then find a place to stay. After hearing Jian Wushuang's meaning, Xiang Yang's expression brightened. This is simply a powerhouse delivered to the door. These big families have their own background, but there are still too few strong people from the family, which requires disciples to sit in. Jian Wushuang's strength is not weak, with a divine power of about 40 million. Although he has not reached a demigod, he is considered a top-notch expert in this Julu city. After chatting for a while, the dinner began. In order to receive him, Xiang Yang also gave a lot of face, and specially invited several beautiful women of different races to accompany him. In addition to these beauties, there are also 2 9-tribulation realm powerhouses. One old and one young. Not a member of the Xiang family, but a worshipper of the Xiang family. And they are all strong men under Xiang Yang. During the banquet, they kept bragging about how many benefits they had gained after entering the ancient wilderness. Everything was due to the Xiang family and young master Xiang Yang. It's just to show off their abilities. Jian Wushuang was familiar with this, but nodded with a smile. Chapter 62-29. Genius to remember the address of this site in 1 second. https:// the fastest update. No ads. Senior Wushuang, if you don't dislike it, you can stay in Xiang's house in the future, and even if you need any treasures, feel free to speak up. Although I, Xiang Yang, are nothing in this Julu city, the Xiang family still has some channels. Xiang Yang's rhetoric shows his pride as a member of the Xiang family. The worshippers of the two Xiang Yang next to him also nodded and raised their heads frequently. Jian Wushuang thought it was a bit funny, and he didn't know how to win over people. But it's not so obvious. Besides, he had only known each other for a day. Therefore, there is not too much example, and there is no direct statement of their needs. Xiang Yang was not in a hurry. Seeing that he didn't say anything, he changed the subject and talked about the ancient wilderness. This time Jian Wushuang leaked a strange look. It seems that Senior Wushuang is more curious about the ancient wilderness, so I will tell you my own views and understanding. Xiang Yang paused for a while, then continued. Actually, there are very few resources in the northwest continent. Compared with the major star regions in the central province and the eastern continent, our resources are not in the eyes of the big men. That is, some super strong people who have reached the bottleneck will come here to try their luck, and it is the cemetery of the gods. It sounds like a garbage dump. As soon as these words came out, Jian Wushuang was stunned. He didn't expect that this junior of the Xiang family would dare to say that the key point is that the other party is just an ordinary lord of the 8 Tribulations realm universe. Moreover, Xiang Yang himself is a local powerhouse in the ancient wilderness. That said, wouldn't it be smashing his own brand? Young Master Xiang, you can't say the same thing. I heard that there are even the tombs of the 9-star universe god in the wild ancient region, and there are countless opportunities left behind. In the eyes of outsiders, this is simply a huge treasure. This is also what Jian Wushuang has inquired about himself, and most people from the outside see it this way. Moreover, there are many super powerhouses in the ancient wilderness, accounting for half of the northwest continent. There is also 1/10 of the entire world god continent. There's no need to be so demeaning. But the next words, let him hear the meaning. Hey, fellow Taoist Wushuang may not have been aware of the situation just now. At this time, the old man next to him spoke slowly and said the reason. It turned out that Xiang Yang belittled the ancient wilderness so much because of the families that inherited the gods of the universe, such as wishing home, relying on the blessings of the god of fire, lead the generation of Vulcan Mountain. Treasures of opportunity belong to other people. All that can be opened is some rubbish. The foreign powerhouses as well as the local powerhouses are not looking for treasures in the heap. Hearing this explanation, Jian Wushuang understood. However, as an outsider, he was not too embarrassed to comment. He just frowned and thought. Now it has reached the peak of the 9 Tribulations realm. The basic divine power of this deity has reached 300 million. Relying on the secret method, it can match the 9-star universe god. But the realm has never found a way out. That's why I came to the ancient wilderness, but now I have no way to start. You can't rely on your strength to rush in all the way. Fighting for a while will only make the water cloudy. I became a fish, and I couldn't find the treasure I needed. But he had an inexplicable feeling. Jian Wushuang felt that his chance was in the ancient wilderness. This is also the reason why the deity stays in the void, and the subordinate clone enters the wild ancient domain to find it. Opportunity sometimes does not depend on strength. Just like when he was in the northern time and space. Sometimes strength is not the key factor, but without strength it is absolutely impossible. Now all he has to do is explore slowly. The chance of divine calamity does not happen overnight. Instead, it requires constant advance payment, and even requires him to incarnate as a mortal to find it. Not in a hurry. Jian Wushuang moved in his heart, then greeted him with a smile, and went to learn about the ancient wilderness. The dinner lasted for 2 hours. Then he was arranged to live in a secluded courtyard. From beginning to end, he didn't mention his needs, just said that he wanted to find the hope of a step forward here. This did not lie to the other party. It's just that the divine position he wants to promote is not understandable to outsiders. Xiang Yang nodded silently after knowing this, and didn't say anything more. After saying goodbye, Jian Wushuang was the only one left in the courtyard. The yard is not big, with only a dry well and a peepah tree. There is also a round table under the tree. After a glance, he entered the master bedroom. Opened the door. The furnishings inside are relatively old, but it is spotlessly clean. Snapped. Jian Wushuang snapped his fingers, and a small round ball appeared under the beam. The figure also disappeared in a flash. Appeared again already in a cave. Immediately, he sat down with his knees crossed, and began to plan his own path to God. Originally, I didn't know the specific situation of the ancient wilderness, but now I also know some fur from Xiang Yang's mouth. Naturally, to start the layout. The legal body does not move. The deity has already started. The deity who was in the void suddenly increased his mind power. The originally small figure was instantly transformed into the size of hundreds of millions of miles. The terrifying power directly shook the ancient wilderness. Countless cosmic gods raised their heads one after another and used their thoughts to sense the void. It was found that there was a majestic figure among them. Suddenly one by one was stunned. This is 9 Stars Universe God. Since the world god continent was shattered, the number of powerhouses has plummeted. In the past, there were still many 9-star cosmic gods. But now everyone is a dragon without seeing the end. The entire ancient wilderness dare not say that there is a 9-star universe god. But now it has suddenly come to the void of the ancient wilderness. Inevitably, everyone was stunned and speculated about the intention. The most important thing is identity. Everyone is guessing which god is coming. In the void, Jian Wushuang raised his head. His aura had already changed, not just the power of the starry sky. It is pure power of disorder. The same power as the beast, but his deity is within the rules. This creates a strange situation. The entire void actually began to flash with thunder, as if competing with Jian Wushuang. Disorder and order will eventually break this bondage. Jian Wushuang said to himself indifferently. The thunder around him seemed to understand and retreated one after another. Follow the law, but that's all. It is not just talking about it. It's going to go that way eventually. Everything. He opened his mouth softly. The power of countless things in the calm body converges. A Dharma body appeared, falling from the sky like a shooting star. The deity started to petrify. Starting from the soles of the feet, the gray-white color covers the whole body. It became extremely difficult for Jian Wushuang to move. Eventually completely petrified. Countless Dharma bodies have fallen into various places in the wild and ancient realm. Just now, he was a super powerhouse with 9-star cosmic power, but he instantly became like this. It shocked the many powerhouses who were quietly watching, and some did not realize it. Chapter 6230. Genius to remember the address of this site in 1 second. https:// the fastest update. No ads. As soon as it came, it fell? The towering body in the void turned into a stone statue, without any breath and thought power. In an instant, all the powerhouses in the entire ancient wilderness were dumbfounded. They entered the void to check. Looking at the stone statue, I can't see the face. Because Jian Wushuang was wearing a mask beforehand, and without his breath and thought power, naturally no one knew his identity. Soon, the news spread throughout the ancient wilderness. It even spread to the entire northwest continent. A mysterious powerhouse descended on the ancient wilderness and turned into a stone statue to dissipate his power. Countless forces fell into the entire ancient wilderness. Powerhouses who were originally not interested in this place also came one after another, wanting to find out, trying to find the secret of the arrival of the mysterious powerhouse. At one time, countless strong men came. The ancient wilderness is also lively. It was just the power that fell from the mysterious powerhouse, and none of them found it. The strong fall and fuse falls. As a result, no one got it. This also seems odd. Many strong people have joined the road to find fuse. Unfortunately, even if they squeezed their heads, they couldn't find these so-called blessings. Because of these powers, they have all condensed into super powerhouses. From strong to weak. There are 2 cosmic gods of the 8 stars. There are 10 of the 7 stars of the universe. There are more than 106-star cosmic gods. These are all clones of Jian Wushuang. At this time, he was hiding in various places, and he was able to recover as long as he thought about it. And those who control the source of these Dharma bodies are hidden in Jiulu City. Banning the deity may be the best choice. Jian Wushuang, who was sitting cross-legged in the cave, opened his eyes. At this moment, even the source was banned. His source starry sky has condensed the long river of time and space. Once the calamity is over, it is the level of time and space. It is also the beginning of qualitative change. But if you want to succeed in transcending the calamity, you need a lot of chance and perseverance. His strength is there, but he has no idea of a breakthrough. Banning the deity now is also the best choice. Otherwise, relying on strength to rashly search will only affect one's own judgment. It is better to find your own chance in this wild world with iodine. Jiulu City is the beginning. He's just done everything here. There was a call from outside. The arrival also surprised him. It was the young man at the dinner party. He was also a disciple of Xiang Yang. Hearing the summons, Jian Wushuang took the ball and walked out of the courtyard. Pushing open the courtyard door, he saw the other party standing outside the door with frowning furrowed. Brother Tantai, what's wrong? He could also feel that the opponent's divine body was a little unstable, which was obviously caused by the battle. Young Master Xiang Yang has an accident. Tantai said anxiously, I accompanied Master Xiang Yang to the Twilight Plain and met Xu Nie a few days ago. Now I am trapped. I risked my fall to escape. Don't be in a hurry to say it slowly. What do you need me to do? Just say it. Jian Wushuang frowned. This is an opportunity. An opportunity to make the other party owe you favor. Naturally, you will not sit idly by. Oh, in fact, after I escaped, I asked the Xiang family to rescue me, but the Xiang family just randomly sent a master of the universe of the 9 tribulations realm with a divine power of only 30 million, and it is not as good as me. Young Master Yang, that's why I found Brother Wushuang. Tantai looked a little angry when he finished speaking. After all, Xiang Yang is a child of the Xiang family. Although his strength is only the Lord of the 8 tribulations realm universe, he is very talented, and it is not difficult to become a demigod in the future. And this time, he went to the Dusk Plane for a family mission, but now he is desperate for help. Cannot help but let the doorkeeper chill. If they don't save their own family, if something happens to them in the future, I'm afraid they won't be able to save them. After Jian Wushuang understood it clearly, he immediately said, I'll be with you, leave now. Then thank you Brother Wushuang. Tantai didn't expect him to be so happy, and his eyes leaked admiration. After all, he and Xiang Yang were just casual acquaintances. If it's someone else, just pat the and just walk away at this time. Nobody will say anything. When something happened to the children of the Xiang family did not save them, and it was absurd to ask an outsider to save them. There is something strange about it. If it was at the beginning, Jian Wushuang would definitely have run away. But it's different now. He has countless clones, and if one dies, there will be another. So there is plenty of confidence to explore. The two were not talking nonsense, and immediately found a few strong people who had a good relationship with Xiang Yang, and left Xiang Mansion together. After leaving Jiulu City, Tantai took out a bamboo leaf. When the leaves blow with the wind, they instantly become thousands of feet in size. A flat boat was formed. This is a green bamboo boat, a semi-artifact. At the dinner, Tantai boasted that Xiang Yang bought it for him from a special channel, and the price was so cheap that ordinary people couldn't buy it at all. The speed is also very fast. It is similar to the pyramid of Jian Wushuang at the beginning, but not as good as the artifact shield. It's a pity that Jian Wushuang gave that treasure to Wu Zhuo. Now this Dharma body has only a few ordinary treasures. The beast god soldier and the sword of myriad tribulations are both banned in this deity. Even his strongest Dharma body did not wear the key treasure. However, the strength of his clone is almost enough in Julu City. The basic divine power is 40 million. Although there are no beast soldiers and swords of 10,000 tribulations, his secret technique is still there. And there are several artifacts for demigods. Even if the universe came, he would not be his opponent. The flying boat flew away. In Julu City, there are a pair of eyes staring at them all the time. When they walked out of the house, they watched. Jian Wushuang also felt those eyes. Interesting, a universe is so concerned about Xiangyang, it seems that things on the dusk plane are not easy. His heart moved, and taking advantage of the opportunity to hurry, he chatted with Tan Tai. By the way, I asked something about the dusk planes. The several masters of the universe who were recruited next to each other also talked about their own ideas and ways to rescue Xiangyang. Dusk Plains. Located in the north of Huashan Mountain, it is a huge grassland. There are not many dangers on the grassland, and the biggest obstacle is the Zhu family. Because there is a special spar on the grassland, this spar is a special product in the entire ancient wilderness. So Zhujia is strictly forbidden to block. If you want to enter, you need the permission of the Zhu family. The reason why Xiangyang was able to go in was because he took over the task of the family. The Xiang family took over the task of the Zhu family. The layers went down, giving them the opportunity to enter the twilight plane. At the beginning it was fine. I dug the spar in the ore pit, and as a result, I dug out the twilight rat hole. A demon rat is nothing. At most a king. But the overwhelming swarm of mice, combined with the mind and the secret technique of talent, is a crisis that can destroy most of the lords of the universe. Xiangyang's team lost the digital master of the universe in an instant. Chapter 6231. Genius to remember the address of this site in 1 second. https:// the fastest update. No ads. Later, a formation was constructed, and it was resisted. May be able to resist, the time is limited. Someone needs to go to help. As for the Zhu family, they don't care, they are only responsible for guarding the dusk plane. So Tan Tai first went back to Xiang's house for help. Only after that. After learning everything, the rest of the people began to discuss countermeasures at random. Jian Wushuang was silent at this time. However, Tan Tai next to him has been looking at him intentionally or unintentionally. Among them, the strongest divine power is only in the early 40s. Because the stronger ones were taken away by Xiangyang. Tan Tai himself was injured again, and his strength was not as good as before. The most powerful player on the scene today is Jian Wushuang. Of course, it depends on Jian Wushuang's expression. Brother Tan Tai, if you follow this method, you will destroy a piece of land. No matter what, you are doing things for the Zhu family. You can't blame us at that time. A master of the universe with a sharp mouth and a long mouth rhetorically, his method is very simple, that is, use divine fire to drive away the mice, find a way, and rescue Xiangyang. At this time, the several cosmos masters who were drawn over also all agreed. After all, there is no need to take risks, just drive them away. This is good for them, that is, if they hurt the enemy, they will lose 800. Fortunately, the one who loses is the Zhu family. I agree with Brother Shang's plan, even if the Zhu family is to blame, isn't there still the Xiang family? Tan Tai glanced at everyone with a slightly embarrassed expression. He was actually very concerned about Zhang Tong's plan, but when he got into trouble, he became the mastermind. It is not realistic to ask the Xiang family to give them the bottom line. Because this time, it is the Xiang family's children who are trapped, and they are also the children of the third family. The Xiang family can be perfunctory in such matters. They may not be perfunctory, and they are directly thrown to the Zhu family to make amends. At that time, he was the mastermind who was hit first. So he hesitated. This time, it directly pushed the problem to Jian Wushuang. Although it was very unkind, there was no other way. Brother Wushuang, you are the strongest in this operation. Why don't you make a decision and see if there is a better way? Tantai's tone was a little apprehensive. This time Jian Wushuang was able to come, and it had already given Xiang Yang a lot of face. Now to push this problem to the other side, it is simply too deceiving. Who is Jian Wushuang? I have seen the wind and waves, how can I not see it? If it was before, it would not be surprising to kill these people. But now it is unusually flat, and even said in a gentle tone. Since everyone agrees with arson, let's set it on fire and expel it, I have no objection. After Tantai heard it, he was stunned for a moment, then he raised his brows, nodded and said, that's the arrangement. This time I will also thank young Master Xiang Yang for your extra help. These people were really helpful. I didn't look for them when I entered the Twilight Plane to get benefits, and I thought that when something went wrong, I would have to make up for it when Xiang Yang came out. After everyone settled their attention, they quickly rushed to the dusk plane. Leaning over. Plain as the name suggests. The twilight of dusk reflected on every grass, and the dewdrops were pale yellow. It seems that the entire grassland has entered its twilight years, and there is no vitality. Instead, it was a pre-autumn despair. Impressions are given to people from the outside in. Vibrant old age? Jian Wushuang saw this scene, his eyelids moved, and he instantly understood the reason. The twilight does not come from the sky, it is probably because there is some kind of power below, absorbing the vitality of all things. A twilight halo falls from the sky. This is actually not difficult to see as long as a cosmic can detect it. The reason why there is no exploration may be because that power has also brought benefits to them, such as the special blood Lingjing. Just before the flying boat came, a wave of air struck instantly, but it stopped in front of them. There are two figures in the light wave, one tall and the other short. After revealing the real face, there is a fire-shaped pattern on the forehead. The person here is the Zhu family guard who guards the place. Both are demigods. Tantai, it's against the rules for you to bring so many people in. Before they could speak, the other party had an aggressive tone. But Tantai still said with a smile, Brother Changling, you also know that the situation inside is complicated. I am also trying to get young Master Xiang Yang out as soon as possible, so that Shui Lingjing can be saved. Speaking of Shui Lingjing, his voice was deliberately elongated. The two brothers of the Zhu family also knew that they were all trying to mine for their own family. When the two brothers left, Tantai's complexion instantly turned cold. Two guys who have lived for an unknown number of years, so greedy and divine power don't have 50 million waste, so they will bully us. The rest of the people also whispered in hatred when they heard it. Jian Wushuang did not expect that these people were so angry with the people of the Zhu family. In my heart, I was also curious about the Zhu family. This is the first inheritance family he has contacted in the ancient wilderness. A family with the inheritance of the tomb of the gods. Although it is only the inheritance of the six-star cosmic gods, he really wants to use this inheritance to spy on what the previous world continent looked like. Under the splendid cultivation civilization, there are too many hidden stories. Just like the twilight plains in front of you. It used to be a place full of vitality, but in a twinkling of an eye it has reached its twilight years. The flying boat entered the twilight plain, and after traveling again for several hours, it had reached the depths of the plain. There are many huge deep pits on the ground here. They are all mines that have been mined. It's here. Tantai's face was solemn. Everyone looked up and looked into the distance. A huge formation stood in front of them, and the surrounding area was dark. After a closer look, they found that they were all demon rats. The number can no longer be estimated, it can only be said that within hundreds of millions of miles around, there are demon rats all over the body. There are also millions of pillars, which are piled up by rats. Above the pillars are golden demon rats. All are the lords of the universe. In other words, there are millions of demon rats at the master level of the universe. Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. They all looked at Tantai and said anxiously, "This is a rat, this is obviously a plague, even if we are demigods, We can't catch young Master Xiang Yang. I don't know either, but it wasn't that big when I left. Tantai panicked. He didn't lie. If it's really this scale, he can't figure it out. Now that everyone has come, there is no reason to go back. You can only grit your teeth and start working according to the original plan. Tantai took the lead and turned divine power into fire. This is the secret method of the practitioners around the Vulcan Mountain. Just use Qianhua. Ordinary Shenhua is also difficult to drive away those demon rats at the master level of the universe. Everyone nodded and shot. Immediately, the divine fire descended from the sky, and the colorful flames swept from the edge to the center of the mouse group at a very fast speed. Because there is a wind-shaped universe master behind him. They are tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.